The fact of the matter.
Week 7 in the World League finds the Montreal Machine with their backs against the wall. At 2-4, not much has gone right lately. Quarterback Michael Proctor hasn't come close to the heroics he displayed by winning back in Week 2. His predecessor, Anthony Dilwig, promising early on, is spending more time in the infirmary than on the field. And how do you overcome a season-ending knee injury to your top offensive threat, Ricky Johnson? The Machine will have to do more than grin and bear it. They got to win. A team that knows how to win, the Surge from Sacramento with a 4-2 record. They're led with confidence and poise by David Archer, the top-ranked quarterback in the league. His favorite target last week, wide receiver Carl Parker, who hauled in 7 passes, 3 of them for TDs. Don't be fooled, though. A great aerial attack is just part of the arsenal the Surge has brought with them on their visit north of the border.
We are live in Olympic Stadium in Montreal for a game of great importance to both teams, the Sacramento Surge and the Montreal Machine. It's a 10-week league. It's Week 7. And remember, in this league, 4 teams make the playoff. The 3 division leaders at this point. The European division is led by Barcelona, who lost last night to Birmingham. Orlando, who leads the East at 5-1, and San Antonio. Both these teams meeting today. Where the Surge is concerned right now, well, the wild card picture. Remember, the team with the best record after the division leaders makes the wild card team. And there you see Sacramento at 4-2, leading Birmingham by a half game. And Montreal, who the Surge plays today here, is 2-4. Montreal better win, or their playoff hopes basically out of there. Hi again, everyone. I'm John Hank, along with Andy Lascano. We've been here for about 2 days, folks. You having a good time in Montreal?
Oh, indeed. You know what? Now I tell myself I should have taken that course in French in college and high school so I would know how to order smoked meat the correct way here in Montreal.
All the stores here have smoked meat, and we'll expound on this during the course of our telecast. Let's start talking football a little bit, and Montreal, who this is not the same team, folks, that was in Sacramento on April 4th. They've got a lot of injury problems, and let's begin at quarterback with Michael Proctor, who will probably get the start today, not Anthony Dilwig.
Michael Proctor apparently has a sore right elbow. The coaches at least tell us he has a sore right elbow. So what do you do if you're the defense? You try to put a lot of pressure on him. If Michael Proctor gets knocked out of the game, they go with Craig Cupp.
Who is Craig Cupp?
He's been here 4 days. He was at Team Dallas. He's been here 4 days. They say he's a pretty good athlete. The Surge defense doesn't think that he has that quick of a release. So they say either way, Michael Proctor with the sore right elbow or Craig Cupp, they can go either way.
Now we know the Surge situation. They have the leading quarterback in the league in David Archer. 4 TD passes last week in London, 3 to Carl Parker.
Now, you would think Carl Parker's his favorite receiver. Well, he may be, but David Archer was telling us yesterday that it is important to spread the ball around early in the game, get everybody involved, get everybody a feel for the game, because you don't want to be throwing a ball with the game on the line to somebody who hadn't caught a ball all game long.
See, a pressure Proctor today where the Surge defense is concerned, right?
Sure.
And where the Surge offense is concerned, I think you come out throwing, right?
Absolutely. You put them under pressure.
Put them under pressure, score touchdowns, put them away, right?
Indeed.
Okay, kickoff from Montreal. The Surge and the Machine coming up right after this.
The fact of the matter is that anybody can sell a cheap suit cheap, but not anybody can sell a designer suit at a fair price. And that's really the difference. We're trying to be a value store where people who want to spend $500 on quality clothing can come to a Men's Warehouse store and spend significantly less, but get the same famous brands and nationally known designers.
Bring the whole family to celebrate Sacramento 92. Enjoy the entertainment, the music, the clown on Saturday, May 16th from 10 to 4 at William Land Park.
Disfrute de comida típica y entretenimiento celebrando el 5 de mayo en el Parque Southside de Sacramento. La 15ª celebración es el domingo 3 de mayo.
The Sacramento Surge Sports Special is brought to you in part by Maida Subaru, Maida Chevrolet, and Maida Oldsmobile, and by your Valley Sierra GMC truck dealers.
Again, live from Olympic Stadium in Montreal, a stadium that was originally built for the Olympics, and originally an open stadium, now it's domed, so the weather conditions will be perfect, Andy.
Yeah, nothing to worry about there, although several of the town folk are mad about the price that it has cost to put the stadium or the roof on here.
There's Kay Stevenson, the Surge head coach, who traditionally before a game you talk to him, doesn't have much to tell you.
No, he keeps his secrets to himself.
Bet he does. So Kay Stevenson with the Surge this afternoon, and for the Machine, their head coach is Jacques Dussault, and his background, you know, they say he maybe was in over his head a little bit last year with his team because his background was primarily coaching college football in Canada.
But one of the reasons they did name him as the coach is because they thought he had great marketing ability for the team to help them sell tickets and to draw attention to the World League coming to Montreal.
Exactly. So the Surge has won the toss. They will receive. And the return men will be 85, Stephon Adams, and number 88, Eddie Brown. And we are ready to go from Montreal. Glad you're with us this morning. A short kick.
Fumble.
And a fumble. Fumble, and
Montreal's got it.
Montreal has it, indeed. They've got the ball at about the Surge 28-yard line, and that's not the way they wanted to start. Surge wanted to come out quick, throw the football, score points. So Montreal gets exactly what they need, an early break.
This is what has killed the Surge in the last 3 weeks. They've had 7 turnovers. First 3 weeks of the season, defense only allowed 19 points. Last 3 weeks, 77, and it's largely because of turnovers like this. Especially, this is a killer early in the game.
Pony Burst coughing up the football, so now the Surge will go on defense and expect the Surge to give the Machine a lot of different looks. Expect to see some shifting in the lines. Michael Proctor starts at quarterback for the Machine. Remember, he has elbow problems. He's not healthy, but he's going to throw right away. In the end zone, he overthrows it.
Yeah, it's him. Good pressure in there. A safety blitz by Lewis Riddick.
So offensively now, here is how the Machine shapes up. It's a decent offensive line for them. Novak, one of the better guards in the league. They're skill position players, as players don't like to hear. Proctor, their quarterback. There's Aaron Emanuel.
Yeah.
And
Pete Manley.
Manley in 88 was the leading receiver for the Detroit Lions. Right. Came back this year and decided, oh, what the heck, I'll give football one more try, get it out of his system, and he's playing really well. Machine going with the single back on second down. Nothing there. Good pressure by the Surge defense. So here now the Surge defense, and they primarily go with a four-man front. There you see Sinclair, who is one of the reasons they've gotten so much pressure on opposing offenses.
Leading sack man in the World League. Some people might call him Count Sacula, John.
And the secondary with Robert McWright and Junior Robinson, two of the best corners in the league.
Right, they think that they have the best corners in the league. They were saying during their spring camp that Junior Robinson is perhaps rated the best in the league.
3rd down 8 for the Machine at the Surge 27. Proctor will go from the shotgun this time. And it's incomplete.
Yeah, Proctor again on that play was... Yeah, on that play there, one of the reasons that may have not worked was because he got some good pressure from Sinclair and also George Bethune on the other side.
Sinclair is doing what he's been doing all year.
Yeah. And this is what they had wanted George Bethune to do. That's why they made him the first pick in the draft.
Bjorn Nitmo, you may remember him if you're an old New York Giant fan. Bjorn Nitmo will attempt the field goal from the 45-yard attempt. And it's good. So the Machine gets on the board early with a 45-yard field goal from Bjorn Nitmo. And they take the early 3-0 lead.
Well, let's count our blessings. They turned the ball over early, only allowed 3 points, so it's not like it's the end of the world. But now, how do you bounce back? Coaches will always tell you, you separate your good teams from the teams that aren't so good. How do you bounce back?
Exactly. 3-0 early. We'll be back in Montreal in a moment. Archer, Pringle, Burst, Brown, Parker, and Green, all people you should know by now. All very talented. And the thing I like about the skill position players on the Surge team is especially the running backs, they catch real well. And that, of course, is by design. That's why they brought Archer here, because of his ability as a passer.
Throw the football. This is good news here for him on this penalty. It's against Montreal, so the Surge gets a little bit of breathing room, shall we say, on the second kickoff.
And they'll start from their own 49-yard line, so good field position. They lined up Eddie Brown wide to the left, Carl Parker to the right, Paul Green is the tight end, and Archer going from the shotgun right away. Montreal's coming at him. Good protection. Archer steps up. He maybe loses a yard.
Emmanuel King on the tackle there. Yeah, see, they get good pressure basically from the outside, force Parker up the pocket, but then Emmanuel King is right there to bring him down.
Second down, 11 from the 48. Again from the shotgun. Archer over the middle, almost caught by Carl Parker. Parker wants interference, nothing called. They're getting pressure on Archer. It's a good hit.
Yeah, it is.
The front seven now of Montreal, McKenzie, MacArthur, both talented linebackers. And their secondary of D. Thomas and James Lott, Elliott Smith, and Darrell Holmes.
Yeah, D. Thomas is their leading tackler.
Exactly. Third down, 11. Again from the 48. Again from the shotgun. Snap a little high. Over the middle. It's open underneath. And
it should have been a face mask right there.
Yeah, there is.
Now they're going to
flag. There's about 4 flags. So Eddie Brown not only picks up the first down, they'll go get more on the penalty. The no bump has really had an effect in the league this year, hasn't it, Andy? And we should explain, if you haven't heard already, there's the face mask call in Montreal. If you hadn't heard what the no bump rule is, it's a rule that I think the league instituted to get more offense into the game. That is, defenders cannot touch receivers until they have touched the ball. The effect of the rule, I don't think, has been what they wanted.
No, indeed. In fact, Greg Coet was telling us that because of that rule, more teams are playing zone, which prevents a lot of offenses from throwing the deep ball because you don't get the individual one-on-one matchups.
Softer coverage, so it opens up things underneath. Archer from the shotgun, and you'll see the face mask here. You go, I tell you, with Eddie Brown's speed, sending him on slants over the middle makes a lot of sense. It's very difficult to stop. So we have 1st and 10 now on the machine 20-yard line. Again, they're switching up. Put Paul Green over to the right side. He's in the slot. Play action. Eddie Brown, oh, he drops the ball at the 2.
You know, one thing the Surge players kept telling us since we've been here in town is that they anticipated a very physical game from Montreal. Montreal realizes this is their season, and all the Surge players were saying the one thing we can be guaranteed of against Montreal, they come to play, they hit.
He should have had it.
Yeah.
He should have had it. The ball was there. Again from the 20, this time 2nd and 10. And again, Eddie Brown lines up left side. Single back, Archer will throw. Looking right side, overthrows Carl Parker. We anticipated they would come out throwing today. They're doing just that.
Montreal again putting some pressure there on David Archer, maybe making him throw it a little earlier than he wanted to.
You can't argue with Archer's statistics. He's 1st in the league. He's had a great year, and of course Archer, more than any other quarterback in this league, has more NFL experience.
That's right. One of the reasons I picked him up.
Archer from the shotgun on 3rd down and 10 from the 20. They send Burst out left side. Stephon Adams, touchdown Sacramento.
Well, that's one way to put the pressure on Montreal's defense, right? And also their offense, because Montreal, I think, came in here wanting to play ball control. But if the Surge does this, now they put the pressure back on the Montreal offense.
Very patient, I thought, by the Surge.
Yeah.
Very patient.
We had thought that maybe the Surge would come out on a 2-minute offense, try to throw the ball around the field, really pour it on Montreal. But this was a very patient drive. Plus, they got the big gain and the penalty on the play for Eddie Brown.
Now, the Surge has a new kicker this week. His name is Kerry Blanchard. John Neese, who had been kicking, cannot kick anymore. He can punt, but he can't do extra points or field goals. And so Kerry Blanchard makes the point after, and the Surge takes a 7-3 lead. So the Surge comes back after the field goal, and that's good.
That's the way to come back.
And isolate Stephon Adams in the corner, and you take a 7-3 lead, huh? More from Montreal in a moment. Back in Montreal, where the Surge has taken a 7-3 lead, and it's Kerry Blanchard who will kick off. Neese can't kick.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the reasons they brought Kerry Blanchard in was because their kickoffs last week were only going to the 20. This one goes to the 12.
That's Anthony Newsome, has room, cuts back inside, finally down at about the 33-yard line. So the machine will start up from their own 33, and it again will be interesting to see just what Proctor decides to do, how much he decides to throw, how much they decide to run. We expected the machine would run the football a lot today because they're very concerned about the injury to Michael Proctor's throwing arm. They go with the single back. Surge with 5 down linemen, giving Proctor a different look. He looks right side. And it's complete. It's Andre Brown out of Miami.
I believe that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but Brown with great concentration to bring it in.
The Surge was concerned going into this game about the potency of the Montreal running game, especially running around Mike Sinclair, where some perceive that there was a gap there.
Right, on both of the ends.
Exactly.
That's where Montreal had run successfully in their first meeting in Sacramento.
And that's why the Surge is using more of a Bears defense today. It's more of a 52. And it's complete to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a Montreal first down. And again, they're going underneath here.
Yeah. You know, another thing that has hurt Montreal's offense is they lost Ricky Johnson. Ricky Johnson had 115 yards in the meeting in April in Sacramento. They have now number 33, Aaron Emanuel, who is more of a bull-type runner, a power-type runner, and basically is playing this week on a sore ankle.
First down 10 Montreal from their own 46-yard line. Again, they go with the single back. And again, the Surge showing Proctor different looks, trying to confuse him. Up the middle they go.
Aaron Emanuel right up the middle. You got to give credit to that Montreal offensive line because the Surge, as you said, John, had a lot of people up trying to show them that bare front. Right here it comes.
Big hole in the middle.
Right, over the right side, they get a good block C on number 50, and then Emanuel cuts right up the middle. Herb Welsh fortunately made a tackle there, or Emanuel may have had a few more yards.
Kula with a great block. Now 50, Pete Najarian is playing a middle linebacker because Michael Jones is hurt. First down. And again up the middle. Again, it's Emanuel. After losing Ricky Johnson, Emanuel has stepped in and performed well for them.
And you know, this is what Montreal said they wanted to do last week in their game here.
Sacramento again showing different looks today. Now, primarily they're a 4-3 defense. Right. They anticipated Montreal was going to run a lot today. So in order to cover those gaps we were talking about, Jim Haslett, the Surge defensive coordinator, told us yesterday they probably would use a lot of Bears defense.
Right, 46, where you bring your linebackers and some of your defensive backs up to the line of scrimmage to try to plug those holes. Now, in that play there particularly, again, it was Najarian who missed the tackle, allowing Emanuel to get a few more yards. They're just short of a first down.
At the Surge, well, the Surge call it the 28.
Yeah, this is what Montreal wanted to do last week in their game. They wanted to run the ball, ball control, conservative offense because they've had so many injuries. But one of the things that had been successful last week, they had the long kickoff return against them, and the Surge here on their second possession of the game scored. But, you know, right now there is really no pressure on the Montreal offense.
They wind up Andre Brown wide to the right, Pete Manley to the left. And Manley's a guy they want to get the ball to, but they go underneath to the tight end, K.D. Dunn. He's out of bounds with a first down. And, you know, Proctor's throwing the ball pretty good.
What sore right elbow?
You know, they have what they call production meetings. That is, we can meet the coaches and players the day before the game. Jacques Dussault, the Montreal coach, was saying to us, I don't know. Michael's arm isn't too good. But, no. And I talked to Hazlitt yesterday, the Surge defensive coordinator, Jim Hazlitt, who said, we see him on film. He looks all right.
Yeah. See, now that time they brought the tight end on a slant across the middle, and Jarian couldn't catch up with him.
1st and 10 from the Sacramento 12-yard line, and they're moving the ball well. Although they go up the middle, and that time there's not much there.
Coaches always have a tendency to do that, don't they? The old boo-hoo, we're banged up, we're beat, this guy's not going to be able to play, and then they go out and have some of their best performances of their career.
Over the last 3 games, the Surge has given up 77 points, right? 77 points the Surge has given up over the last 3 games.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for this, in theory, is that they're giving up a lot of yards on the ground.
Well, they're the worst team in the league against the rush.
2nd and 7, Montreal. They're at the Surge 7-yard line. He drops the ball.
That play was wide open. That guy would have scored.
That's Charlie Young out of Stanford.
You know, another thing, too, to take in mind here, John, is it's always hard. I don't care what sport it is. It's always hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. Surge has beaten Montreal in the tiebreaker in the practice game. They beat them earlier in April, and now they're here they are the 3rd time.
Proctor goes, what do I got to do?
I put the ball in your hand. You're supposed to catch it and run.
So we get a timeout on the field now. They're going to talk it over, which not a bad thing to do in this situation. They're down close. They don't know how many chances they're going to be to get down here, so it's not a bad time to talk it over and see what they can do.
The Surge players kept on talking to us about this, that they knew that Montreal was going to play them a tough game.
So Proctor faced with a 3rd down when we come back. So the Surge faced with their first big test of the game. Montreal with the ball on the 10-yard line of Sacramento. They have 3rd and 7. Proctor's talked it over with Dussault. And I would expect to give themselves some kind of an option here, because Proctor's a guy who can roll and can run if he has to.
That's why they like him. He's very productive on both ends.
And he goes from the shotgun to give him a little more time to look over the coverage. Stays in the pocket, and he's sacked, fumbles the ball.
He was sacked by George Bethune.
And Montreal loses it. Sacramento has a 1st down now at their own 22, 23-yard line. Again, the pressure that the Surge really wanted when the season began from the 2 outside guys.
Exactly. That's why they made Bethune their number 1 pick. That's right. Bethune, coming from the top right of your screen, beats his blocker and gets Michael Proctor from behind. The Surge thought that he could be another Derek Thomas, Lawrence Taylor type of player in this league. Nate Hill recovering the fumble there.
The Surge's whole idea going into this season was to get 2 defensive ends who could pressure the quarterback.
And I think they got him.
They sure do. 1st down Surge. They start at their own 22. It's Pringle going nowhere. I'm a little surprised they're running as much as they are here at the beginning. There's George Bethune, who's having a great year along with Sinclair.
Yeah, I think they're maybe a little disappointed that he doesn't have as many quarterback sacks as Mike Sinclair, but I think they're overall pleased with his game. He's giving him the speed and the pressure from the outside that they've been hoping to get.
Well, with Sinclair on one side, Bethune on the other, it gives them good balance. 2nd and 9 from the 23. nowhere.
I'm a little surprised here, John, like you're saying. I mean, I thought they may come out and try to put a lot of pressure on Montreal, throw the ball. I mean, this is one of the best passing offenses in the World League. Why not come out, put pressure on the Montreal defense, and subsequently put pressure on the Montreal offense?
And they're going to give the ball to Pringle, and he doesn't get much.
Yeah.
They got a great, Montreal's a good linebacking core with McKenzie and MacArthur.
And Derek Davis. Oh, they call the timeout.
Archer saw something he didn't like, so he's going to talk it over. They line up 4 receivers that time. I think Kay Stevenson has come in for some controversy on the play calling this year. Well, let's
listen to what he's going to have to say here.
Well, they've decided what they're going to do now. This will be a 3rd and 6 from the 26-yard line. They came out last time showing pass before the timeout with the 4 wideouts.
I think some people have said that maybe Stevenson and the Surge have been somewhat conservative early in the game,
exactly,
and then they open it up late in the game. But I think at this point, you're not getting any progress running the ball. Try to throw it.
So they've really got it stacked. They have 3 on the right side, and Carl Parker and Eddie Brown on the left. Quickly to the flat. And again, the Doug Dubose, and again, the Montreal defense reads that real well.
Dee Brown, number 24 in the tackle. He's Montreal's leading tackler.
So it's 4th down, and the Surge will have to punt now. And Nice can punt. It's an interesting story. About 2 weeks ago, Nice, who had been struggling as a kicker, they decided to send him to Ray Pelfrey's camp in Reno. And Pelfrey worked on his approach as a kicker. And what happened was he kicked the ball, and the placement of his foot that Pelfrey wanted wound up tearing or hurting the muscles in his leg.
Which is why they had to bring in Kerry Blanchard.
Which is why they had to bring in Kerry Blanchard. So he still can punt the ball, as you see here, to the machine 29, but he's having trouble kicking the ball. And there's a flag on the play.
Good special teams coverage by the Surge, but now we have a flag, and it appears it's going against Montreal, according to Tony Burse. He's pointing toward the Montreal side of the field.
So they'll move it back even more.
Clip.
Hard to judge the crowd today here at the stadium. I guess because I've never been here before. But it may be around, I don't know, I give them about maybe 15,000, 20,000. You got to remember, though, we're in the middle of
the NHL playoffs.
Yeah, the NHL playoffs here.
And
in
a certain team is in the NHL playoffs.
Yeah, I guess they're called the Canadiens. Canadians open up the Adams Division Finals tonight. Ooh, Jacques Dussault doesn't care for that thing. We were talking about the hockey playoffs. The Canadians open up tonight against the Boston Bruins, which may explain the crowd a little bit. And we'll be back. This is Jeff Novak, who's, well, he's a very talented... It's not that the guy likes to eat pancakes. It's just that they've got this stat in the World League that has to do with pancakes.
Well, I think this all started with Tony Mandarich. We'll get to it right after this play.
Okay, 1st and 10 Montreal. They start at their own 15-yard line. And a Proctor again throwing. And he overthrows on purpose.
If this guy's got a sore right elbow, I'd hate to see what he looks like. I mean, he can cause a lot of damage when his elbow is fine, but he doesn't look to have any appear to have any problems there.
He overthrew Manley. And in part because there was probably double coverage. Right?
Yeah, well, they put what is called a combo coverage on him. See, they brought the linebacker Proctor over.
So he couldn't see any purpose in trying to complete the pass to him.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 95 was Corian Freeman.
You want to get Manley in this game if you're Montreal.
Yeah. Indeed, he can do a lot of damage.
In the worst way. 2nd and 10 from the 15. Their own 15, Montreal.
Got good pressure. Good pressure. He gets away.
He gets away.
He's still got more pressure.
And he's
there.
down.
Mike Sinclair.
Sinclair comes from one side to the other, brings him down at about the 4-yard line. But I'm amazed he got away in the end zone.
Indeed, but that's what you want from your defense in a situation like this. Put the heat on them.
And in part, you got to credit the Surge secondary. Credit the Surge secondary for making Proctor hold the football as long as he did. He sure doesn't want to do that near his own end zone.
All right, there is Bethune, and then 75 right here. Mike Sinclair finally wraps him up. That's his 8th sack of the season, which is best in the league.
3rd and 21 from their own 4, and they're just going for field position here because they're going to punt.
You know, getting back to the pancake statistic, John, I think that all started with Tony Mandarich when he was at Michigan State. There's Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator for the Surge, who is quite pleased with the way his guys have done.
I would think he'd have to be. They're stacking more guys on the line today. They're getting pressure on Proctor, and they're basically getting done what they wanted to do.
Not so much the Bear defense that we expected them to show, but they are still getting good pressure.
So they get it away. It's more of a line punt that allows Eddie Brown to return it. Cuts inside, gets a couple more yards, so he's down to about the 48. You wonder about the Surge team, the success they've had, and how many of these guys, like Eddie Brown, may get a real shot at the NFL.
They have several guys, Eddie Brown and several guys on their defense.
And we'll be back.
No.
4 minutes, 22 seconds remain here in the opening quarter with the Surge leading the Montreal Machine 7-3 in a game, as we said, that has great meaning for both teams. The Surge not only after the wild card position, if they can get it.
I still believe they can win their division. They're just a game behind.
And rightfully so. Orlando and San Antonio are also playing today. And that, by the way, is our second game here on Channel 13. That will follow this game. A doubleheader of football for it. Archer again from the shotgun. Going deep. We wanted Carl Parker, but
way overthrown.
Not only overthrown, there might have been a mix-up in what both expected. One of the priorities that Sacramento had going into the season was acquiring a quarterback like David Archer. David Archer, as we said, has more experience as an NFL quarterback than any other in the World League.
Pretty surprising when you include Babe Laufenberg in that list.
That's Pringle. Certainly, the experience of Archer has showed this year, in the success he's had. The argument has been made that reading World League defenses for Archer is kind of a piece of cake.
Sure, not as complicated as reading NFL defenses, as sophisticated as they have become. But I keep on looking at Babe Laufenberg's name there, the well-traveled Babe Laufenberg. It's surprising that Archer has more experience than he does.
Now here's a different look for the Surge. They lined up 4 on the right side with Eddie Brown on the left, and he's looking for Eddie Brown, but it's incomplete.
Well, that looked catchable, hey, John? Right over the middle?
Yeah.
I think Eddie Brown saw somebody coming at him once he caught the ball.
Oh, no.
Like, not this early in the game. I'd like to play a little longer.
Well, as we talked about before, I think with Eddie Brown, that's what you want to do. You want to utilize his speed either to stretch the defense or certainly like the Niners do with Jerry Rice, bring him across the middle. It's so difficult to defend because of his speed.
He's one of the leading receivers in the league.
So Nice will punt from his 41-yard line. High kick. It gets a good bounce. Oh, gets by him.
Tracy Perkins was down there but couldn't stop himself quick enough to stop the ball or down the ball in the playing field.
So Montreal will start then from their own 20-yard line.
You know, John, you were talking about the crowd here that looks like maybe 15,000. I think last week their home game, they had like 22 to 25,000. Lost that game, and maybe some of the fans figured, well, the season's over. We have really nothing to play for anymore, so that's why maybe attendance is down today.
Well, first year a year ago, this was a club that drew well.
Yeah, they drew like, what, 33, 35,000. One of the best drawing teams in the league.
So Montreal starts 1st and 10 from their own 20. They lined up Andre Brown wide to the right.
You know, look at the surge showing the Bear defense. Here they come, and they got it. Well, they missed the ball carrier. They finally gave it off to Emmanuel.
Well, there again, the surge anticipating the run. They thought that this is what Montreal would have to do today.
Yeah. Basil Proctor was up there. I think he just missed the handoff. He sacked Proctor.
You see how they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on the line.
Yeah. And see the 3 linebackers right there in the middle. Basil Proctor, Nigerian, Corian Freeman.
2nd and 8 from the 22. The pitch to Aaron Emanuel. He's got the first down at the 32-yard line.
Well, this is how Montreal had success. This is how Montreal had success against the Surge the last time they played them. Run to the outside.
One of the things, and it's funny, you get a defense that's as aggressive as the Surge, and there's a way to take advantage of that.
Indeed.
And you just run right at it.
Yeah. And plus they had some great blocking on the outside.
Now there the Surge started in a 4-3 and they shifted again.
Right. They're offside there. Nate Hill was offside. Or was he drawn off, as a defensive lineman will say? Wait a minute, it was the other guy. Yeah, the Surge had said that they were going to start doing that. That they were going to shift their defensive line right before the snap to try to confuse the Montreal offensive line blocking. And you got to figure there's a lot of pressure on the Montreal offensive line. I'm sure Jacques Dussault has told them we can't let the Surge defense get to Michael Proctor, otherwise our offense is basically shot.
So it's a 1st and 15 for Montreal from their own 32. Play action, Proctor rolling. He's got the time. Oh, nice job.
Nice play by him. We got a penalty.
There is a flag on the play.
Holding against the Surge.
Holding against the Surge. And that will move it up.
It was actually a nice play in the secondary, though, by number 21, Robert McWright, who tipped that ball away.
The Surge secondary is respected around the league. Both McWright Junior Robinson, and a couple of good safeties in Welsh and Louis Riddick. Look to the lower right of the screen and you'll see the call. Oh.
He ran into me, ref. That's why I had to hold him. But here's Robert McWright, who will eventually make a great play on that.
So Montreal gets a first down, 1st and 10 now from their own 32. It's a pitch to Aaron Emanuel, right side. Sloppy. He shouldn't get away. Louis Riddick catches up to him at the 24.
Wow. This is going to sound repetitive, John, but running to the outside. So like you said, some sloppy tackling there. Aaron Emanuel may be a bull runner, but he also has some speed. Coming out of high school, out of Quartz Hill, California, he was probably one of the highest recruited running backs in the country. Went to USC, had a lot of injury problems, and now here he is playing in the World League and doing a great job.
And you see good blocking by the Machine. You see poor tackling by the Surge.
Sinclair got knocked on his back there, and Lewis Riddick fortunately has the speed to catch up with him.
So the Machine goes now from the 24 of Sacramento with a 1st and 10, 43 seconds left first quarter. That's Charlie Young.
The Montreal philosophy, wear them down, wear them down, wear them down. Sooner or later, they'll buckle. Look at Emanuel, 92 yards already. And we're not even at the end of the first quarter.
It's very impressive, and it's kind of reflective of what the Surge has been through the last 3 games.
Yep.
Giving up yards on the run.
They're the worst in the league against the run.
2nd and 2, they're at the 16 of the Surge. And again, it's Charlie Young, going back. And that'll be the last play of the quarter. Not the kind of quarter I thought it was going to be.
I'm very surprised because I fully expected the Surge to come out and try to bomb right away and put a lot of points on the board. They have not done that.
And they're giving up a lot of yards on the ground once again.
Started right here in this.
Have to be feeling pretty good about the first quarter, given what we've told you about the injury situation.
What did Jacques Dussault tell us yesterday when we were here at the Machine practice? He says, you know what? A lot of people think we're out of the playoffs, that we really don't care. He goes, we're going to surprise people tomorrow. And here they are. A big surprise.
Yeah, Aaron Emanuel so far having a great game against the Surge defense.
He just knocked somebody over there and then shifted gears.
1st and 10 Montreal. They're at the Surge 13-yard line, and there's the pitch to Charlie Young. Right side, maybe 4 yards. Pick up 4 yards and first down, you're doing fine.
Especially this, and what they call this, the red zone. Anything inside the 20-yard line, you got to be pleased with that. You know, the thing that's surprising about this, John, is that the Surge has, as we were mentioning earlier, a lot of these guys off of this defense will probably get invited to NFL camps. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of talent. That's never been the issue, but why they can't stop the run?
Tough to say. 2nd down and 5. They're at the 7. Aaron Emanuel. It's a Montreal touchdown. Well, Aaron Emanuel is having one great game. You know, we talked about the fact they lost Ricky Johnson, who was so effective against this team at Hornet Field on April 4th. And Emanuel is just coming out and blowing them out.
Playing on a sore ankle, I might add. Now he has, I think it's, 100 yards already in the game.
Bjorn Nitmo with the point after. And it's good.
You have to give credit to this Montreal offensive line. When your running game's going that good, somebody's blocking somebody, and that's clearly the case here.
So the Surge will have the ball when we come back. 14-13 left in the second quarter, but Montreal leading. Leads the Surge, 14-13 left second quarter. And Andy, if there's a surprise here, it's got to be that the Surge knew coming into this thing Montreal was going to run right at him, and Montreal is running right at him.
Yeah, the Surge gives up about 123 yards rushing a game, which is the lowest, or the highest rather, in the league. Aaron Emanuel already has 100 yards.
Stephon Adams will down it in the end zone, so the Surge will start from their own 20.
You know, it could be a factor here, John, is all this travel. Is it finally catching up to the Surge? Are they tired? They said they were tired in the first half at London. Is that the case here, I wonder?
Well, we've spent the last couple of days with the team at the hotel. We're staying at the hotel with the team, and it's really hard to say because, of course, they enjoy being out and enjoying Montreal, but you got to remember, this is the end of a 12,341-mile road trip that began in Sacramento, went to Birmingham, Swanee, Georgia, then London, and now Montreal before finally getting back in Sacramento tomorrow night somewhere around 9 o'clock. That's Eddie Brown. And we're talking about how well that Montreal has been running the ball. Their defense has been shutting down the Surge offense.
Defense has been doing a heck of a job. A heck of a job. Well, here's your first quarter stats.
What jumps out at you, Andy?
Wow. Is that why 98 is in wide, John? 98 yards rushing, most of that by Aaron Emanuel. Look at the difference in the total yardage.
Yeah.
Surprising. I'm surprised even more so maybe by the passing yardage that the Montreal is that close to the Surge.
And here you're talking about a Surge offense that's regarded as one of the best in the league, primarily because of Archer.
Yep.
2nd and 8 Surge. Play action,
Good
Archer
pressure.
will throw. Underneath.
Paul Green, the tight end.
Out of
Surprising
USC.
surprising that Archer got that one complete because he was hit immediately.
Green's one of the, I like Green. I think he's a real talent.
You know, even I remember covering him when he was at USC, and the line on Paul Green was always he may have the the best set of hands of any tight end, at least at USC. They were saying that he had some of the best hands they'd ever seen there.
Look at the pressure they're getting on Archer here.
Right. Well, we anticipated that Montreal was going to come. They were going to do whatever it took to try to slow down the Surge offense.
1st and 10 from the 36. They go with the single back. And Archer again will throw.
Again.
Great
Nice.
catch. And again, it's Paul Green, the tight end.
There it is. He's got the pressure, yet he still completes the pass. Look at the catch by Green. Check that out. And he knows he's going to get whacked as soon as he catches the ball. But it was perfect, perfectly thrown.
Great throw, great catch. You know, they may want to throw the ball a little more on a line in this building, in this stadium, because the dome over it is just about the same color as the football.
Yeah, and there's no crown on this field. It's level. It's flat.
Now they shift with bursts. And Doug Dubose, they give to Dubose, he goes nowhere.
Going nowhere.
Run really hasn't been there, has it?
No.
That is great pressure by the Montreal defensive line.
A good attacking.
1st and 13 from the 43. The Montreal 43 for the Surge. Archer from the shotgun just throws it away.
Oh, he had Dubose open downfield. Dubose was wide open at about the 20-yard line.
Well, Eddie Brown cut inside. It may be that as the quarterback and receiver reads the particular coverage, he was looking a little more for Eddie Brown to cut outside. Third and 12 from the 42. Over the middle. And again through his hands. A lot of balls today so far.
Eddie Brown.
That were very catchable.
Indeed.
And they weren't hanging on to. I don't know. Footsteps again, Andy. I don't know.
Well,
He's wide open here.
Yeah.
The pass is right there. That goes through his hands, hits the top of his helmet.
One of the leading receivers in the league. I mean, you count on a guy like this to make the big plays for you.
So what do we got here? We got a Surge offensive line that is not run blocking very well.
They're getting
We've
whipped.
got receivers that are dropping footballs.
And you got a defensive line that's getting whipped.
Yeah.
Bad snap. Drops the ball.
Drops the ball. And he's trying to get the first down. He won't do it. And again, another Montreal break. Just the kind of thing they need. So Montreal not only getting it done with the defensive pressure.
They're dominating the game, John.
Yeah.
They're absolutely dominating this game.
They're getting breaks.
Well, as we said, they had to come into this game and prove that their season wasn't over.
Well, they lose today. Their season basically is over.
They realize that if they beat Sacramento today, beat Birmingham next week, they have a great chance to get in as the wild card team. I don't believe the ball ever made its knees on the fly. That's why he fumbled it. And actually, though, it was only a few blocks short of picking up the first down, Joe.
So they'll start from their own 43-yard line.
Well, as we were talking to David Archer at the hotel, he was saying that, yeah, last week, because of all the travel and everything, you know, it took us maybe a half to get our feet under us, and maybe that's what's happening here, that they're just not in sync. They're just not alive, awake, something at this point in the game.
Sure doesn't seem like it. You can go back. You can go back and make the argument about the travel. I don't know. I mean, in my heart, I kind of tend to think it's an excuse. I don't know.
Well, sure. All right. See, the ball bounces away from knees. He just never got control of it.
Bottom line here, to this point, is the Surge are making a lot of mistakes.
And not capitalizing on Montreal's mistakes. Remember when Bethune sacked Proctor, fumbled the ball, Surge recovered, they didn't do anything with it.
Well, Neese tried, God bless him. He did well. And now Case Stevenson is having some conversations with his offensive line, which has to be of concern to him right now.
Well, the whole team, really, but yeah, the offense is not doing a darn thing.
So Montreal starts up 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Michael Proctor gives to Aaron Emanuel, and why not? Fumble ball, picked up.
Nate Hill. Old Nate trying to get his feet under him. He wanted to do the dance in the end zone, but got caught from behind. But hey, we got the ball back.
And he lumbers down to the 23-yard line. And now the Surge has a break. And now you hope they capitalize.
What do you do with it? Are you a good team? Do you respond right away?
It was not only a good hit. It was nice to see Nate pick the ball up and not just fall on it, try to get a couple yards.
He got hit by Lewis Riddick, fumbled the ball. There's Big Nate, 300 pounds worth. Number 96. Boy, he's thinking end zone. He wants to do some kind of touchdown dance. Would not fumble the ball. Give him credit for that.
Not only doesn't fumble the ball, does a great job of holding on to it. They tried to tackle the football. And there's Louis Riddick, who made the initial hit.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 24. This time,
reverse.
It's a reverse. Eddie Brown is down to about the 15. I think Montreal's doing a great job of anticipating and reading what the Surge offense is doing.
Really, the Surge has not moved the ball other than when they've thrown a couple of nice passes to Eddie Brown and to Paul Green. Other than that, they have not done much. So here's Eddie Brown at top of your screen. Gets a good block there from Tony Burse. And here comes Brown back the other way.
And now with the reverses, trying to mix things up a little bit, show him a different look. 2nd and 2 from the 16.
Pringle.
Mike Pringle goes nowhere. Sets up a 3rd and 2. 9:55 left, 2nd quarter. Montreal leading the Surge 10-7. And Aaron Emanuel, the machine running back, is having a great morning or afternoon. Afternoon here, morning here. Archer from the shotgun on 3rd and 2 from the 16. Rolling right. He's pressured again, overthrow.
Oh! At Paul Green in the end zone.
But he overthrows him. And again, he was pressured.
By number 66. That's Emmanuel King, another well-traveled guy. I think he spent a little bit of time with the Raiders, among other NFL teams.
So a week ago, the Surge is in London. They throw 4 TD passes. Archer does 3 to Carl Parker. This game is going totally the different way. So now we get a field goal attempt by Kerry Blanchard from the 23. No good. Surge gets the turnover. Outside of the reverse, they can't move the ball offensively. And now,
there's the kick.
There's the kick, which is off the goalpost. Remember, they just picked Blanchard up this week because Nice is hurt, and we'll be back. Blanchard on your right. Sometimes the enthusiasm to the left.
Sometimes the loneliest spot on the field is being the kicker after you've missed a field goal attempt to give your team a boost, especially the way the Surge is struggling. But I think the thing to do for the other guys to tell them is, hey, don't worry about it. We'll get you another opportunity.
1st and 10 from their own 20. Machine starts again. They lead this 10-7, 9:20 left, second quarter, in a game that really hasn't gone the way we thought it would, given the Machine injuries and the fact that Sacramento has one of the better offenses in the league, and an offense that's pretty well been shut down today.
Well, Montreal's offense basically dictated by their injuries, and they're doing a great job of it. Pound, pound, pound. Sooner or later, the defense will bubble, or break, rather.
The bubble will break.
The bubble will break.
The bubble will break.
Thank you, John.
That's all right. A 2nd and 7 from the 23. Proctor's still at quarterback. He's rolling right side. He wants to throw. And that's complete.
Nice catch.
Andre Brown out of Miami. And I'll tell you, the receiving core of Montreal, we talk about the Surge and their receiving core, but the one of Montreal is good, and they've suffered an injury this year that hurt them a lot.
Bynum?
Yeah,
Bynum got hurt. He's out. Now you have Andre Brown, who has great speed, and then you have Manley, who's got the great experience.
Manley, not only an effective receiver, he's also a great kickoff returner. In fact, he's statistically the best in the league. Third down 10 from the 39.
Surge in a 2-deep zone defense.
Underneath they go to Charlie Young, who goes nowhere. Surge that time reading that well and pressuring well, too. And that'll set up a 4th down. How do you like Montreal?
The city of Montreal? I love it.
Yeah?
I kind of like it, yeah. I've never been here before. So, yeah.
It's enjoyable, isn't it?
Yes. I wish it was a little warmer. I wish it was warm like it is warm back home, but it's always nice to have a break.
We've been here since Friday night. It's been overcast and drizzly.
And I like it.
High, a little bit of a wobbly kick from his own 39. And again, the coverage is there. That's Eddie Brown.
Had he just been able to break through those last couple of tacklers, he had some room to go there.
For the most part, outside of the turnover last time around, the field position has not been great for the Surge.
Well, you know, you think back to when they sacked Proctor was in the first quarter. I mean, yeah, you're right. They have not had great field position.
But they're also not getting it done. So there. And with the penalty, the Surge will start now from the 40-yard line of Montreal. They'll have it 1st and 10 with 7:44 left now, second quarter, and the Surge trailing 10-7. Really want to get on the board here before the half. Stephon Adams in the game, lined up right side.
Pressure, he's going to get sacked.
Archer doing a great job of rolling, now throwing wide open. Wide open is the top green.
How did Archer get away from that sack? I want to know that.
The fact that he did, though, the fact that he got around the pressure allowed Green and the receivers to open up.
Sure. What do they say about the good receivers when they see their quarterbacks under pressure? Always come back to the quarterback. Don't make him look for you. Let him show yourself to him.
If there was a knock on Archer before he came to Sacramento, it was that he ran too much. Maybe a little bit of the Steve Young in him. Well, now his argument will be when he was in Atlanta, he ran for his life.
That's basically it, yeah.
But in that instance, his scrambling allowed the receivers to open up, and that's the reason Green was so open. First and goal from the 5.
6.
Touchdown Paul Green. Looked easy that time, didn't it?
Well, yeah. They were all so easy. But they got the big play, had the momentum, and then went in and scored.
There's a whistle, though. They may call this back. Surge seems to feel they've got the touchdown.
That's saying something. You can even score a touchdown when the defense has an extra guy on the field, huh? Yeah, now they got things going in gear.
Absolutely. Finally using Paul Green, too.
Yeah. He's their third leading receiver. Had 14 catches coming into today. Only one touchdown.
Blanchard with the kick. It's good, and the Surge takes a 14-10 lead.
There you go.
Paul Green out of USC and David Archer doing a little bit of what he's done all year.
Yeah, they had him matched up with a linebacker, and he beat him.
So many receivers on this team, Andy.
So many guys who can do damage, who can hurt you. Paul Green always reputed to have the great hands. He says sometimes when you have a reputation of having great hands, people don't think you can block. Well, I know I can block, and I'm proving that this year.
Good numbers on the afternoon. One of the reasons, especially in this league, you want a tight end who can catch is because of what we talked about before, and that is this no bump rule. With a tight end, you're going to go underneath a lot, and with Green, who has this great ability to catch the football, he's an invaluable asset for Archer.
Remember that a couple of series earlier when he made that great catch over the middle on a nice pass from Archer. So yeah, he's never had a problem catching the ball.
So the Surge not only gets a touchdown before the half here, they do it quickly, and that's got to make them feel a lot better. That's Darrell Harris with the return to the 25 or 26-yard line, where the machine will start up with about 6.5 left in the second quarter.
All right, so you hold them here. Still plenty of time left on the clock. Still plenty of time left on the clock for you to do more damage. Go in with a 21-10 lead, but you got to hold them here.
At halftime, we're going to join our Canadian counterparts, Jerry Trupiano and Steve Moore. They'll have interviews with the coaches, Kay Stevenson and Jacques Dussault, and Roger Doré, who is the president of the Montreal Machine, and we'll have more in the city of Montreal. That's coming up at the half. Machine starts here 1st and 10 from their own 27. Proctor with a screen. It's Aaron Emanuel. To the 35 or 36. Jacques Dussault, the head coach of the Montreal Machine, as we alluded to earlier, primarily with a college background in Canada.
And a very nice man to talk to yesterday.
Yeah, he's a great man. Very open.
Very accommodating. Yes, indeed.
And Emanuel, ball comes loose, but the play was blown dead.
I got a question for you. Is Michael Proctor doing a good enough job, or do you go with Craig Cupp? Leave Michael Proctor in there?
I think he's doing fine. Yeah, I think he's doing fine. I'd leave him at this point.
The elbow doesn't show any signs of really hampering his throwing ability.
At this point, I would sure take his experience.
Yeah.
The fact that he knows this offense. You put Cup in the game. Oh, good pressure. And down goes Proctor.
Corian Freeman, the linebacker. It's a great thing about these Surge linebackers, thing that they love about them. They have such great speed. Freeman, Basil Proctor, Michael Jones, who was on injured reserve. Here he comes, came right through that opening. See, Bethune went to the outside, Corian Freeman went inside, and that's what made that sack possible.
Back to the 31-yard line. Time running down, 4:53 left, second quarter. Surge with that 4-point lead, 14-10. And this time Proctor will go from the shotgun. The Surge stacking their front line, now backing off, anticipating pass, and it's complete. That's Pete Manley. They love him up here, and they should. Surge that time anticipating pass. They backed off.
But look how far back the defensive backs are playing. Number 21, Robert McWright. He gives Manley so much room. Nice jump. Nice jump.
Save those legs. Surge playing much too soft.
Well, yeah, look at McWright on this play. He's still backed off pretty good. And also on the other side, Junior Robinson.
It's a 3rd and 3 for the machine. Good pressure by the Surge. They get it away, and it's dropped.
No catch by anybody. Yeah, Nate Hill and Sinclair put the pressure on Michael Proctor there.
They're finally getting some pressure. They're finally getting some pressure on the machine offense.
They got to do it. See, there's Hill and a nice defensive play there. Eric Kelson in there to break it up.
So Montreal punts now on 4th and 3 from their own 35.
Nice snap. It's Junior Robinson. Fair catch.
Fair catch. Not a bad move.
All right, so we have 3:43 left. We have plenty of time.
Oh, given the fact that they've shown they can throw the ball, they sure have the time, absolutely. Did a good job of picking up the snap. Staying with it.
Yeah, 35 there is Sean Russell. He's the guy who snapped the ball. Probably breathing a sigh of relief that it didn't go completely over the punter's head and then cause more problems.
So the Surge with a 14-10 lead. There's 3:43 left, and they'll start 1st and 10 at their own 18. And it's a pitch to Doug Dubose.
He's got room. There you go.
Nice moves, too, up to about the 24, 25. This time they're in the eye. Now they shift. That's Burse.
Oh, fumble the ball. Surge recovered.
They got it back.
I think Tony Burse recovered it.
Well, now Montreal.
Indeed. Oh, no, wait. Now Parker says it's Surge ball. I believe Burse had it.
Surge will keep it. Tony Burse falls in. Seemed like it was a result of a bad exchange between Archer.
Could have been. Did he get hit as he was pulling away from center? It appeared when the guard was pulling. Maybe it knocked the ball out of Dave Archer's hands.
Pulling guard knocked the ball loose. So it's 3rd and 4 from the 24. Archer from the shotgun looks right. And it's complete. Again, it's Paul Green.
And on that play, Montreal dropped 8 defenders. They only had 3 guys rushing. The fact that the Surge was able to complete the passes is even good for them.
And they do pick up the first down.
Sure.
He also gets out of bounds, stops the clock, which is important here because we're down to 2:06 left in the half.
Remember a week ago, right before halftime against London, Surge was leading 14-10. They threw that, what is basically referred to as a Hail Mary, into the end zone. Defensive backs say that should never be completed, but Carl Parker caught it for a touchdown.
No, I think
the Surge was.
Yeah, I think technically there's not supposed to be jump balls or Hail Marys in this league. If you come down with the ball in your possession, it's okay. But that's what the thing about this league is. The rules change every week. Now, about the 35-second clock, the play clock, that changed 2 weeks ago to 45 seconds.
Okay, now here they come with the blitz from the outside.
And that's Carl Parker.
Did not get the first down, just short of it, though.
And we're now at the 2-minute warning. Surge leading here, 14-10. Closing seconds of the opening half in Montreal. The Surge with a 14-10 lead, and they're driving. And it'd be nice to see him get on the board here before the end of the half. We talked again about that the play clock, which was 35 seconds, is now 45 seconds. One of the reasons
45 seconds between plays, right?
Yeah. One of the reasons they did this was to hope to increase the scoring.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, each team in the league got a memo from the league office saying, hey, air it out, put points on the board, make it exciting. Let's get people to watch and come to our games, because that's the whole intent and purpose here, to draw more fans. Also, be exciting on offense.
Also, the game clock will be stopped at incomplete passes, and that's different too. Archer from the shotgun. Danny Brown.
That one he hung on to.
And now they'll hurry up. 1:51. That's a completed pass, so they'll move the chains, and then the clock will start.
Four wide receivers on this play.
Clock starts. Archer again from the shotgun. And he overthrows out of bounds to stop the clock. So he'll have it 2nd and 10 from the 37. With good field position here, you at least want to get a forward enough here to have a field goal opportunity.
This is exactly what they wanted to do. If they have even a 17-10 lead, well, maybe 21, you put a lot of pressure then on Montreal's offense, and especially on Michael Proctor.
So they're at the 37. You figure they got to pick up 10, at least 15 more yards, although with Kerry Blanchard new to the team this week, I really don't know what his range is.
Very good point.
I wonder if they do.
All right, they got it to Burst. He's got a big field of open.
And he's down to the 23-yard line. And the Surge calls a timeout.
Well, my guess would be that it's tough to tackle Tony Burst. Remember we saw him yesterday? That guy is a load.
He is a load. So after early problems, the Surge offense finally now with an impressive drive.
The way they've played in this first half, and to have a 14-10 lead now and possibility of adding to that, it's a miracle.
Archer has burst next to him to block, and again he's from the shotgun, and it's wide open Eddie Brown.
That ball was caught. Two defenders there on that one, John. I think we'll say he heard footsteps.
And that's 3 times a day he's dropped the ball.
Look at this. Ball is right there in his hands.
So he's had like for 2, maybe 3 for sure that have gone through his hands. 1 hit his helmet.
Now look at Archer. Are you kidding me?
Well, Archer did his job.
That's right.
So now they're getting noisy at Olympic Stadium. 1:29 left in the game clock, second half.
There's
First
pressure.
half.
Oh.
Flag on the play in the area where there's likely to be holding.
Holding on serve, you're right, John.
So that'll back it up. And now they're not only concerned about getting in the end zone, now they're moving out of field goal range. Has been hit a lot today, Andy.
Well, you put yourself out on an island like that, sure, you're going to get beat up a little bit. I'm surprised he got away from the earlier pressure earlier in that play.
So again, now the Surge is talking it over. Surge with 1 timeout now left in the half. Again here they'll have to throw.
Yeah, to get it closer for Mr. Blanchard to get it into the end zone.
And certainly it seems the stuff over the middle has worked well today. Certainly if Eddie Brown could have hung on to a couple of more passes.
And the whole key to that is giving David Archer time.
Yeah. And Paul Green, the tight end, has performed well today. Big day.
Yeah. Mysteriously silent, Carl Parker.
Yeah. It's a play action rolling right, coming back to the left side. And that again is Paul Green.
I think the penalty is going to be on 74, Tom Rader, because he pushed the defensive back from behind, if I'm not mistaken here.
So now even when they're moving the ball, they're making mental mistakes. And they'll back it up again.
Yeah, see, that's Tom Rader, the guy they just picked up a few weeks ago. See, the defensive back turns, Rader wanting him to get out of, or trying to make the block so that Green can get more yardage. There's the flag.
It almost appeared as though Rader couldn't help it. It looked like he just ran into it.
But in his enthusiasm to make the block so they could get more yardage, wound up getting a penalty.
But now the Surge is back at the 31-yard line of Montreal. They have a second down and 20. Well, Jacques Dussault, the Montreal coach at this point, has to anticipate pass. And certainly that's what he's doing.
You know, John, you're talking about what kind of range does Kerry Blanchard have? When he was in college at Oklahoma State, he had a career long of 52 yards. He was 45 of 59, which is pretty darn good for a college kicker, and never missed a PAT.
He was with Team Dallas, right?
Yeah, they brought him in here from Team Dallas.
And what is Team Dallas?
Well, basically what it is guys who are not on an active World League roster who keep practicing throughout the season, coached by the staff that coached the Raleigh-Durham team last year.
From the shotgun, 2nd and 15 from the 31, 1:10 left, second half, first half. And that's complete.
And guess who?
The 9-yard line. Stephon Adams. Archer stepping up, making the time.
Great catch by Adams because he got hit as soon as he caught the ball.
Even better, they get out of bounds. Stop the clock with 59 seconds left. And now the clock is running. Play action to the corner.
Touchdown, Eddie Brown.
You sent Eddie Brown on the corner like that, one-on-one with a defender, and
it's over.
Yeah, really.
Well, he's dropped some, but he doesn't drop the ones that count, right?
Absolutely. So the Surge, who had struggled early, now come up with a couple of late scores here in the late in the first half, and
a huge play.
Yeah, now they're beginning to dominate like we anticipated they would before the game began.
They could quit stepping on their own feet. Maybe this game would be even more lopsided.
Yeah. Blanchard with a kick, and it's good. 21-10, Surge leads it now with 47 seconds left in the second quarter. And with the play action, which holds the defensive line momentarily anyway.
Yeah, see, they had Brown one-on-one with a defender, and like you say, no way, Ray.
No. Perhaps
David Archer, there you go.
Yeah, now he's happy, and perhaps even more important at this point, the machine, who figured to have problems coming into this thing and was at least staying with the Surge. Now the machine's going into the locker room at halftime, knowing they're down 21-10.
Now you take them out of that pound, pound, pound type of offense. Now you make Michael Proctor throw the ball. And you know that if he's hurting, if the elbow really is indeed hurt, they've got to go with Craig Cup. He's only been here 4 days. How much does he know the place?
So it took the Surge a while to get there.
To wake up, shall we say.
But they're finally in the position that they wanted to be in before the half. They just thought it would happen a little quicker.
Yeah. We fully anticipated them coming out in maybe a 2-minute offense. Trying to surprise Montreal.
And Archer is again having a good afternoon. He's just been the victim of a lot of drop balls.
Yeah, and penalties that he had no control over.
Yeah.
So
from the 35 to the 10. And he's got room.
There's a fumble. I believe the Surge has it.
A lot of scrambling going on.
Surge ball, at least they indicate that.
There's a Montreal player on the field. And the officials have indicated the Surge does have the ball.
That's 31, Jamie Gray on the field for Montreal.
There's Nigerian. He can't hang on to it. Stephon Adams.
Still gets away.
And the machine calls timeout. 32 seconds left, second quarter.
Well, you couldn't ask for any better ending. We hope Jamie Gray's okay, but I mean, if you're a Surge fan, you can't ask for any better ending.
The way the Surge has played here toward the end.
You have an 11-point lead, and you have the ball. So you throw it up. Maybe try to get one more, even a field goal.
Yeah, I wonder how they will do this. I mean, they could go conservative here and just run out the clock. Or they could try to get another score, maybe get in field goal range for Kerry Blanchard. Did a great job of cutting this outside.
Yeah, Darrell Harris.
But when all the bodies get together, the ball tends to bounce around. And the Surge, who are not getting the breaks early on, are starting to get the breaks now, too.
Starting to balance out a little bit.
Yeah. Again, coming up at the half, we will go to our Canadian friends, Jerry Trupiano and Steve Moore, who will have interviews with the head coaches, Kay Stevenson and Jacques Dussault, and also with Montreal president Roger Doré, and they'll talk a little bit about what's going on here in Montreal. You know, it's the 350th anniversary of this city this year.
So much celebration going on around town.
Yeah, you may see this big patch on the front of the machine jerseys, and it has to do with the celebrating that's going on in Montreal this year. This is all over the city with posters and banners. Surge has a timeout, so you wonder if they'll use this here. Try to get into a position to get another score, and it sure looks like it. Look out!
Roland Cooks here. Yeah. Former 49er, I believe he spent some time with the 49ers. I know he spent some time with the Packers.
He came around untouched.
Yeah.
Is she not doing a bad job of getting pressure on the Surge today, especially on Archer? Like we said, he's taken a few hits.
That's what offensive linemen call the lookout block. You just turn around and yell, look out to the quarterback.
From the shotgun, they're going with 13 seconds left. He goes underneath. That's Carl Parker. And the Surge does use their last timeout. So now we're anticipating stacking one side and throwing it up, right?
London all over again.
Absolutely. Why not? It worked once,
That's
it'll work
right.
again.
That's right.
This Surge team is so different from a year ago. I mean, they've done a great job of turning the personnel around and making this a much more competitive team.
Were they not as explosive a year ago?
No. In fact, I thought a year ago, having covered them, I thought that they were one of the more inept offensive teams I'd ever seen. I thought personally that maybe some high schools were a little more efficient offensively than some of the stuff I saw from the Surge. But that was a year ago.
Yeah, I mean,
this year it is totally different. They brought in some great people. One of the great things for Carl Parker is a year ago, it was almost like he was all by himself. This year, you cannot double cover Carl Parker because they have so many talented receivers. And they're stacking it right side.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
Going for it.
Absolutely.
Eddie Brown is open. Not this time. Not 2 weeks in a row.
No. They may be asking a little too much.
We can ask.
So the Surge is going into the locker room at the half with a 21-10 lead. It took them a little while to get there, but they're there. And Montreal, who, as we said, is 2-4, needs this game real bad. Had to feel pretty good early. Now they got to feel a little dejected.
The Surge gave Montreal several opportunities to blow this game wide open. Montreal did not. Now the Surge leads by 11 points and basically can dictate the rest of the game.
And the Surge, who was having trouble offensively in the early going, finally got it together and going. And I was happy to see him go to Paul Green a lot because he's a very talented tight end. And
Eddie Brown.
Yeah, Eddie Brown, who was dropping balls but caught when he had to in the end zone. So Eddie,
they don't ask how, just how many, right? Isn't that the old saying?
Absolutely. 21-10 at the half. The Surge leading, and it's not a bad way to have a break. Okay.
Okay, we'll take it.
Our Canadian counterparts will join us at half.
Are you confused by claims made on Auto Dealer Row?
Oh, Otto, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Are you lost among dealers who haven't got a heart?
And now, my pretties, throw in that dog and those shoes and you're on your way.
At Maida's Toyota of Sacramento, we won't send you over the rainbow to find what you're looking for in a new car or truck. Right now, write your own deal on any new Toyota car or truck in stock.
Oh, Auntie, there's no place like Maida.
Your dream will come true at Maida's Toyota of Sacramento.
Almost everything you do is affected by water. If you have a higher quality of water, you have a higher quality of life. I really believe that. The Culligan reverse osmosis system is a state-of-the-art drinking water system. People say, hey, Culligan man, because we're the water experts, and that's who you want taking care of your drinking water.
Now get the fresh taste of Culligan drinking water and a water conditioner, both for $6.90 a month for 2 months. Check the yellow pages under water and say,
Hey, Culligan man!
Now at Lumberjack, the great spring matchup. When you've got the color, we've got the perfect match. Valspar Paint and our easy computer color matching system. Now the color you want is the color you'll get. Time after time. Valspar quality since 1806. Computer technology today. When it comes to the color you're looking for, get the perfect match. The great spring matchup. Now at Lumberjack.
It all started right here in the 70s, a tradition of selling quality cars at a fair price. And that tradition continues today and through the 90s at Maida Oldsmobile. See this 92 Cutlass Sierra just $11,888 after factory rebate. A 92 Achieva is only $12,888, or a 92 Cutlass Supreme is only $12,888 after factory rebate. And don't miss the great buys on executive demonstrators and special event cars available now at Maida. From yesterday through to tomorrow, you get it all at Maida Oldsmobile today.
Because the NFL wants to know about two things. Is that stadium going to get built? And is the ownership group solid? And, you know, it's, yeah, we can say the ownership group is solid, but nothing is going to happen unless that stadium is built. So it's, you know, we've got the NFL coming in this week to visit us. And, we got meetings with them all day Wednesday. They're going to be done, you know, with different people. We're meeting with some of the city people. We're meeting with, you know, it might even be, we're going to look at the possibility of getting Jim Thomas up. But I don't think Fred's even talked about it. So, you know, they've got me on the committee. And I keep telling them, you know, something has to be done to remove all these questions. The NFL really would like to see us at least in the hunt. But we're not really giving them anything to stay in the hunt. But they keep giving us more time. All the BS that's going on with the, you know, now it's who controls the stadium, who's going to actually be in charge of getting the stadium built, who's going to sell the rights, who owns the rights. They don't really control this. Right now, what they want during the football game. You see this afternoon, and you will have a lot of noise, a lot of, you know, activities in the stadium during the football game, and we try to make it a very good entertainment afternoon for the people.
And you're thinking big. I know you've approached the NFL about possibly hosting a Super Bowl down the road. What's that story? You know, the mission of the World League actually is to develop American football outside the territory of the United States. I think that we are close when the NFL will try to make expansion also outside the United States. And we said that probably the best experience that they could try is to play a Super Bowl outside the United States. I don't know if it will be in '97 or at the beginning of the next century, but one day or another, they will play that game outside the United States. We just say, hey, Montreal, we're ready to do it in '97, and if you like to try the experience, why not Canada for starting? You used to have a CFL team here in Montreal. Now you've got the World League. Has it been different trying to sell the World League here? We try to sell first the entertainment, and we market football globally, not only our team, because, you know, we expect a few problems last year, again, with injured players, like we have problem again this year. And I think that during the time that we develop our football operation, that's better to entertain people with everything, you know, that we could use to keep them happy and keep them enjoy to come to the stadium and watching the ball game. And I hope that the third station of the machine, well, we will be able to bring with a better team. Thanks for the time. Good luck to you. Thank you very much. Roger Doré, the president of the Montreal Machine, visiting with us. Stay with us. We have more halftime activities coming up.
Why would someone pay more for a small foreign truck when they could get a full-size GMC Sierra SLX for under $13,600? I'm talking this truck. It's got more cargo space, tilt wheel, cruise control, AM/FM cassette, and great fuel economy. Now that's a full-size value. And if buying American is important to you, then GMC quality makes it that much sweeter. Your GMC truck dealer wouldn't have it any other way.
Hello? Ooh, Kellogg's Max. Those sweet puffs of wheat, I can almost taste them. Yikes. Dig 'em. Oh, kitty. Uh-oh. Now for Kellogg's Smacks. Ooh, here comes Kitty. There goes Kitty.
Kellogg's Smacks might just bowl you over. Part of this complete breakfast.
Smacks. I dig 'em.
This suit at the Men's Warehouse is $200. This double-breasted, also $200. And tailored, $200. These quality suits are all $200 at the Men's Warehouse. Elsewhere, they'd be closer to $300. All-wool tuxedos, $200. We've got a great selection of quality suits for $200. We guarantee it.
To be connected to the Men's Warehouse nearest you, call 1-800-300-SUIT.
The bank says
They all must go.
And when they say
Move 'em.
we'll move them out fast during the final clearance on all 91 Subarus at Maida Subaru. 1991 Just E3 doors, final clearance priced at $59.99 after factory rebate. 1991 Legacy sedans with all these features clearance priced at only $12,499. What about 92s? You'll see 1992 Loyale sedans including all these extras priced at only $89.99 after factory rebate. Get final clearance savings now at Maida Subaru. Subaru, what to drive? Maida's where to buy.
Back here at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Sacramento with the lead 21-10 here at halftime. And Sacramento fell behind early in this one, but they were able to right themselves and take the lead back. Yeah, as we were able to see the Sacramento Ball Club straighten themselves out. Steve, this Sacramento Ball Club, they don't get rattled too much, do they?
They have a real basic, simple game plan when they get into most of these games. They stick to their plan, and you saw what happened in this first half. They started out a little bit on the ropes. Montreal started moving the football against them, but they just settled back to what they do the best, just taking what the defense gives them, threw a couple of wrinkles at Montreal, started moving the football, and all of a sudden they started to build some momentum and took control of the game late in the second quarter.
At the top of the show, we talked about the coolness at quarterback of David Archer. We saw that.
Yeah, a couple of situations where it looked like he was definitely going to be in the grasp, knocked out in the pocket, just stepped right up, real cool, bought himself a little bit of time, found some receivers. I think the interesting thing about Archer, with all the things he does well, and you alluded to this earlier, is that he very rarely makes a major error that'll put his team in a bad situation.
His team fell behind 3-0, but he got that one back in a hurry as he found Stephon Adams.
And they crossed up the Montreal defense a little bit with 3 wide receivers to the right side. Stephon Adams just ran to the corner, blowing coverage, and he put the ball right on the money. Can't make a mistake with a quarterback like this.
And Montreal able to regain the lead. Aaron Emanuel was their main man in the first half.
Here we see Michael Proctor handing off to Aaron Emanuel after he had just a great series, 3 or 4 big runs. You can see right there the power that he has. He just knocked down 2 Sacramento defenders and barreled into the end zone.
After a missed field goal opportunity by Sacramento, was more air work to the end zone for Archer.
Here he is again. I believe this is going to be Paul Green. Just a simple play. He slips it out into the flat. Kevin MacArthur just was frozen a little bit by the play-action pass fake in the backfield, and Paul Green was wide open for a touchdown.
Then he found his roommate Eddie Brown talking about Archer.
Oh, this is just a beautiful timing play. He throws that ball out there before Eddie Brown even breaks, and the ball's right on the money.
And Sacramento has taken the lead as we look ahead to the third quarter, 21-10. Sacramento leading the Montreal Machine. Stay with us. More coming your way from the Big O in Montreal.
This Sacramento Surge Sports Special has been brought to you in part by Maida Subaru, Maida Chevrolet, and Maida Oldsmobile, and by your Valley Sierra GMC truck dealers.
It's Court Furniture's clearance sale going on now. Turn your home into a showplace for a lot less. How about a beautiful new traditional Queen Anne dining room set, only $8.99? This new contemporary striped sofa and chair, only $7.99. Previously rented dinettes from $129. Previously rented 4-piece bedroom sets from $129. And in our rental return clearance center, you'll find sofas or love seats from $99, occasional tables from $29, lamps from $12. Whether it's new or used, you're guaranteed to save during Court Furniture's clearance sale going on now.
Bring the whole family to celebrate Sacramento 92. Enjoy the entertainment, the music, the clowns on Saturday, May 16th from 10 to 4 at William Land Park.
This Sacramento Surge Sports Special is brought to you in part by your Northern California Cadillac dealers.
(21-10) halftime score. Sacramento leading Montreal. When we have a chance to visit with Jacques Dussault, the head coach of the Montreal machine his club on the short end of the scoreboard right now. Jack, as you look at the first half of play, your team did some fine things offensively. The defense has to tighten up, huh?
Well, there's no doubt about that. We're facing a very good quarterback, and we need to contain him. Every time that he break contain, he buys time, and he finds a receiver, so we cannot let that happen in the second half. Plus, we need to capitalize when we got a break.
We saw Aaron Emmanuel was your main man in the first quarter. Will we see more of him in the second half?
Well, I need to be honest with you. Our 3 backs are hurt right now, so that might be a surprise for all of us.
All right, Jack, good luck. We appreciate the time.
Thank you very much.
All right, John Hank back again live from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. We're about to start the second half with the Surge leading the Montreal Machine 21-10. And a first half that began a little shaky for the Surge, especially offensively. A few drop passes. But as the half progressed, the offense got a couple breaks, hit a couple of big gainers. Touchdown pass to Eddie Brown helped. And they finally got out to the 21-10 lead, which we anticipated before the game began. We thought that the Surge would start quick today. But what we were informed was, what we thought was that the Surge, because they knew of the injury problems that Montreal was having, that they would come out and try to hit the Montreal defense quickly with big gainers and with touchdowns and scoring a lot of points early that would put Sacramento on top and put the pressure on the Machine, who's had all the injury problems, especially a quarterback with Proctor. And you know what this means now to the Machine. As we start the second half, the Machine 2-4. They really have to win this game or their playoff hopes are pretty well gone. And the Machine will start from their own 28-yard line. After 2 quarters, looks much better for the Surge with 12 first downs. And passing, of course, is where they're getting it done. 224 yards thus far for David Archer. It looks like he's headed toward another, which I think would be his third 300-yard game. The turnovers there even at 3 apiece. And Montreal begins from their own 28. And the Surge with great defensive pressure, and it's nowhere. Again, that's Aaron Emmanuel. Emmanuel, who was here when the season began, was not the Machine's primary running back. Rather, that was Ricky Johnson. But Ricky, who had that great game April 4th in Sacramento, subsequently became hurt, and the bulk of the running load now put on Emmanuel on 2nd and 9 from their own 29. And it's a reverse. That's Pete Manley. He's got room, cuts inside and down. George Bethune with the pressure. Manley has the speed to pull this off. And he's hurt. It appears he's a little hurt, too. But Manley, who is not only a talented wide receiver who has a tendency to gain yards once he catches the pass, is also a great kick return man. He's got the speed to be effective on the reverse. Cutting inside, he saw the pressure. And there's Bethune, George Bethune, to bring him down. You see Manley now laying on the ground. He's hurt. Aaron Emmanuel with a great first half for Montreal, with 109 yards on 12 rushes, and of course the touchdown. And there you see the receiving. And the rushing, Mike Pringle with only 7 yards. So again, the Surge is getting it done in the air. 103 yards for the tight end Paul Green. And they're getting green in the game a lot today. On second and 1st and 10 now for Montreal from their own 38. Single back. Proctor the quarterback. And again it's Emmanuel. Loose ball. Maybe a couple, 3 yards. It'll set up a 2nd and 7 from the 41. Mike Sinclair, what a year he's had. He's exactly what the Surge was hoping for when they brought him here. Very effective rusher, pass rusher.
Yeah, in Seattle, it was just a matter of him not getting enough playing time.
Proctor will throw underneath to Manley. And another first down.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty good matchup all day long, John. You got Pete Manley against a guy like Junior Robinson, considered one of the best in the league. But Proctor on a rollout here. Manley just gets in front of Robinson. Makes the grab.
They're going underneath, using a little curl-ins. Basically, they're taking what the Surge defense is getting. I mean, you see the Surge lining up with 5 down linemen. And that's Emmanuel left side.
What is that reminiscent of?
That's a great effort. That's a great effort. 2 or 3 guys on his back, and he just brings it forward.
Running to the outside again on the Sacramento defense.
Exactly.
Yeah, Emmanuel has always been a tough guy to bring down. He's had injury problems. He had some off-the-field problems, but you know, at least today he's playing well.
Like a lot of guys in this league who are looking maybe for a second chance, trying to get back in the NFL.
Sure.
2nd down and 1 from the Surge 37. And again, the machine is moving the ball well. There's some pressure, and Proctor is down.
Bill Goldberg with the sack.
What about the 42? And the clock stays running. 10:52 left. Third quarter. The Surge leading here 21-10.
Somebody was going to get him there because it looked like Bethune, Mike Sinclair, and Goldberg were all in the vicinity. Goldberg got credit for the sack.
Goldberg, one of those defensive linemen we haven't heard a lot about, mostly because of Bethune and Sinclair.
Yeah, but Goldberg has silently been having a good year.
Yeah.
He and Kim Hammond.
Looking underneath again. That's Darrell Harris out of Arizona State. And that's another first down. So if you want to anticipate or try to assume here what Montreal discussed at the half, it may well be they're saying, look, they're playing back, something we alluded to a couple of times before. Let's just take the stuff that the Surge is giving us underneath.
Well, look right there. Look how far back now Junior Robinson and 21 Robert McWright are playing back from the receivers.
Exactly. And Proctor
got Andre Brown curling
a lot. And again, it's Darrell Harris.
Andre Brown was wide open right down the middle of the field, too.
So you go in the shotgun. That gives you time. You don't have to worry that much about the pass rush. And you just let him curl underneath, and you take the little stuff.
Yeah.
Charlie Young, the lone back for the machine, on 2nd and 1 from the 25 on a very impressive second half opening drive.
You know, one thing I've noticed today is the Montreal runners and receivers break a lot of tackles. Aaron Emmanuel and now Young. I mean, they make it tough to bring them down.
A lot of you may remember Charlie Young because he did play for the Cardinal at Stanford. Single back is Emmanuel. This time Proctor under center.
Surge coming.
Aaron Emmanuel run out of bounds.
And then some. Take that.
Send him down St. Catherine Street and get him a little smoked meat.
The good thing on that play, though, is that they did not allow him to turn the corner.
Well, he saw that immediately. He tried to read it and go outside, but the pursuit is there.
See, 27, Herb Welsh had him. Herb Welsh isn't going to bring him down one-on-one, not like that on an arm tackle. But fortunately, everybody came up and forced him to go outside instead of turning the corner.
Well, he does get 3, so it's a 2nd and 7. They're at the Surge 13. Emmanuel now the deep back, the single back.
Surge looked like they were offside. There's a sack. There you go. That's Mike Sinclair.
Go. Remember, there's a flag on the play. There's a flag on the play. He'll run it out. He'll go in the end zone. Now we got to find out if they're calling it back, and they sure are.
I believe they're going to call the Surge for being offside.
They are. So they'll call this back.
If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be George Bethune who was offside.
So they call it back. It was a great effort.
Probably going to have to call a timeout.
Run.
Well, they have to call a timeout to let Sinclair catch his breath.
And Sinclair is laying in the end zone. Now they're coming out to assist him.
Yeah, offsides on Bethune.
And that's why Bethune was standing at the other end of the field as Sinclair ran down the field with his helmet off in total disgust because he knew what he'd done.
All right, you're going to see Bethune just jump.
There.
I can't really. There he is.
Yeah.
All right.
It's hard to see it, but they did call him offside.
Basil Proctor causing the fumble. There's Sinclair. Stays right with it. Gets away from Emmanuel, and then he's gone. And for what?
And Sinclair is still knees down on the end zone. Although, based on how they were treating him, he's on his feet now. I anticipate he's going to be okay. Well, at least he ran it out. You know, he ran it out.
He showed more form and more style than Nate Hill did earlier in the game.
Yeah.
All right, well, George Bethune can take him out for a nice dinner and pay him back.
So the machine still has the ball. It's 2nd down and 2. They're going from the 8-yard line. In motion. The give to Emmanuel. And he's down to the 3-yard line. It's been a drive where they're opening things up, Andy.
As they did when they early in the second quarter rather. Look, they get a nice hole there. Look at that hole.
This has been a very long, sustained drive by the Montreal machine. Plus, they got a break. They got a break on the
fumble
turnover
recovery
that was called back. 1st and goal from the 3. Aaron Emmanuel is going to need a long, hot bath tonight. They're really working him.
Well, here's a guy who had 100 yards before halftime.
Second and goal from the 2. The running game has been working. Do you stay with the run? Do you give Proctor an option here?
Yeah, why go away from the run? As you say, it is working.
Well, that's what they want to talk about. Proctor's going over to talk to Jacques Dussault. Will they run? Will they give Proctor an option? We'll know in a moment.
By the time you've worked 35 years and raised a family, you appreciate value. You appreciate luxury. And if you've gotten to know your local Cadillac dealer, you appreciate that Cadillac is America's quality leader among foreign and domestic luxury automobiles.
Your participating Cadillac dealer has special lease rates waiting for you, or a $1,500 cash bonus. But hurry, offer ends soon.
This suit at the Men's Warehouse is $200. This double-breasted, also $200. And tailored, $200. These quality suits are all $200 at the Men's Warehouse. Elsewhere, they'd be closer to $300. All wool tuxedos, $200. We've got a great selection of quality suits for $200. We guarantee it.
To be connected to the Men's Warehouse nearest you, call 1-800-300-SUIT.
It's not easy being a truck. But through it all, Chevy full-size has the best resale value in the business. Chevy trucks. The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last. Now it's easy to own a Chevy truck.
The Machine Cheerleaders live from Montreal. I'm John Hank along with Andy Lascano. 5:53 left third quarter. The Surge leading 21-10, but the Machine is threatening here with a second and goal from the 2-yard line.
You figure the Surge comes into this game with, we hate to keep using the word pressure, but Birmingham won last night. They're only a half game behind the Surge for that wild card spot.
Plus the Surge is still chasing San Antonio in the North American West. So they think about division possibilities of winning that division or wild card. And Proctor gets the option. That's what they talked about. And it's a touchdown.
Rich Bartlewski
out of the backfield.
Adam Bob.
Adam Bob is a linebacker that they will line up as a tight end in that situation, and this is what we were talking about, Andy. I know, what do they do? The run was working so well for them, but when you get into that situation, it's best to give the quarterback an option down there. And Adam Bob is a guy, a linebacker, who can catch the ball. They'll put him at tight end, and he was wide open.
Yeah.
And they're going for 2 here. Remember, in this league, you can go for 2 points. And again, Proctor is rolling. And again, he's got time. And it's
Manley. This game is not over, although looks like Proctor's day may be over. It looked like he was on the ground there for a minute.
So it's 21-18. The importance of that, of course, is they're only 3 points down. A field goal can tie the game.
Still.
So it was a risk by Dussault, the head coach, but it worked.
Well, that's what Michael Proctor's going to do for you. I mean, he's got the ability to run and to throw.
Well, here's the touchdown first.
Right here.
Adam Bob, who's wide open.
Yeah, gets away. He threw the pass right before Lewis Riddick got to him, and now here's the 2-point conversion. Oh, no, here's another angle on the touchdown.
And there again is Proctor's ability to roll and run.
Makes him a double threat. That's why he's so dangerous.
And then the decision to go for 2 points. And wide open is Manley.
Nice catch there,
So what we have now is a 3-point game. The Surge leading 21-18 in a game that has a lot of meaning for both teams. That's rough.
Why would someone pay more for a small foreign truck when they could get a full-size GMC Sierra SLX for under $13,600? I'm talking this truck. It's got more cargo space, tilt wheel, cruise control, AM/FM cassette, and great fuel economy. Now that's a full-size value. And if buying American is important to you, then GMC quality makes it that much sweeter. Your GMC truck dealer wouldn't have it any other way.
The forces of Wolfpack had ruled too long. Only one could stop this tyranny, the Lego Maniac.
Forsooth, it is I. Set sail, mighty Black Knights. Enlighten these Dark Age dudes. Be not spooked by ghostly power. We return victorious. Take your prisoners to the most gnarly dungeon. Yes!
A new day dawned, but only the Lego Maniac knew what night would bring.
Most hauntingly put.
The Lego System Castle Collection. Each sold separately, only from Lego.
Back in Montreal, where the Machine had a very impressive scoring drive.
Yeah.
They took the opening kickoff of the second half, and right now there's 5:42 left as the Surge takes this kickoff, goes out of bounds, knocks a few signs down. But the Machine held the ball for
Almost.
11 minutes.
Yeah. Now,
They did lose the ball at one point, but the penalty got it back.
Right, it was called back on the penalty. Now, the good thing to see out of that is that the Machine, Jacques Dussault, they didn't panic. Being down 11 at halftime, they didn't come out throwing the ball like crazy. They said, let's stick to our game plan. We're running the ball well against these guys. Let's keep doing that, and throwing the short underneath stuff will be successful, and they have been successful. 9-minute drive right there.
And now when the Surge finally gets the ball back, they're called for holding, so they'll start 1st and 10 from their own 15. Real important they come out here and have a good drive.
Can they counterpunch? That's the point here.
Carl Parker lines up wide left. Archer this time will go under center. It's the pitch. That's Mike Pringle. Ball came loose.
I think he was down on it.
I think the whistle blew.
You got a good block there from Tony Burse, who, by the way, is, what did they say now? He, of all these pancake statistics for a running back, he's up there with all the linemen, and what a pancake. And what the pancake again is, if you can knock a defender, defensive lineman, linebacker, or defensive back on his backside.
Comparatively speaking, last week in London, today in Montreal, Archer just having another fantastic game. And he's throwing again. Up top.
Got Eddie Brown.
He's got him, and Eddie Brown is gone. They're not going to get him. Touchdown Surge.
80 yards.
When he hangs onto the ball,
Yeah, now he's our buddy.
When he hangs onto the ball, this guy is all right. Well, that's what Eddie Brown brings to this team.
Wow.
And we were talking about last year, Andy, the fact that the Surge had Carl Parker and little else. So you could double up on Parker. Now you can't do that because Eddie Brown has the speed to stretch the defense.
Look at that.
And yeah, isn't this pretty?
Wow. That's some speed there.
It's Eddie Brown. He was looking at him all the way, too. Eddie Brown has the speed to stretch a defense, and there's no way you can now go double coverage on anyone without opening someone else up.
And tell me with a performance like this that this guy's not going to get an invitation to play on Sundays this fall.
Yeah, absolutely. He's sure going to get a shot.
Yeah.
As we anticipate a lot of guys on this team will.
Yeah. He had played in Canada for the last couple of years and never thought that he really got his just due. He didn't think that he was ever the main guy, the go-to guy, and that's why he's so happy here with the Surge, because they're throwing to him.
Kerry Blanchard makes the point after, so it's a 10-point lead, 28-18, 4:45 left, third quarter.
Howdy again, I'm Cal Worthington. Hey, bring the kids and drop by Worthington Chevrolet and have a look at my cars and trucks, and I'll give you and the family free tickets to the Bentley Brothers Circus. This is a big, friendly, giant supermarket of cars and trucks, a $10 million inventory to choose from, special financing, and a money-back guarantee. Again, bring the family, drop by and get your free tickets to Bentley Brothers Circus. It's Worthington, Mitsubishi, and Worthington Chevrolet on Floyd Road, open till 10 every day.
Diabetes is a disease that affects millions of Americans.
Symptoms are increased thirst, increased urination, blurred vision, fatigue, and weight loss. If you experience any of these symptoms, see your doctor. If the diagnosis is diabetes, consult your leader pharmacist about ways to keep your diabetes under control and for information on the latest diabetic testing equipment.
For better health, consult the yellow pages for your neighborhood leader pharmacy.
Before you lease your next luxury car, your local Cadillac dealer has just one small request. Test drive the new Seville or Eldorado and see why the critics are saying that the new Cadillacs stand up to Lexus or Mercedes and are among the most important luxury cars of the 90s.
Your participating Cadillac dealer is ready to show you Cadillac special lease rates now. But hurry, this limited time offer ends soon.
What a day for Eddie Brown.
For a guy who's dropped a bunch, look at those stats.
Okay, we're not going to mention it anymore. We're not going to mention that he dropped the ball a couple, 3 times. Let up on him because he's had the 2 TD catches. Charlie Young got himself back in the corner, decided to back up a little bit, and then survived. So Montreal now starts deep in their own territory from about their own 14.
How about Archer now? This will be his third 300-yard-plus passing game of the season. 4 touchdown passes last week, 4 already today.
Well, it seems to me Dave Archer is headed toward becoming the payday player of the week. Don't you they have him this week? You know that?
The payday player of the week.
Payday player of the week. I don't know. I guess you get a case of salted nut rolls or something.
No.
Yeah.
For a week or for a year or what?
Huh? I don't know.
How long do you get them for, a week or a year?
Well, a week would hold me, I know that. And then some. Proctor under center. Into the flat. Whew. That's Rich Barlewski out of Fresno State.
It was funny. We saw watching a little bit of film last night with the Surge running back coach, Bob Owens, and Rich Bartlewski comes in there. Apparently, he's pretty good friends with all the Surge players. But they were talking and joking with one another. I'm going to get you tomorrow, and I'm going to lay you out on the kickoffs and this and that.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Bartlewski, who plays for Montreal, walked in on the
Surge coach is looking at film, but they weren't looking at film of the Surge or of Montreal. They were looking at film of the Frankfurt-London game. No damage.
1st and 10. Again, they go to the short stuff.
If it's working, stick with it.
It's Charlie Young. Third quarter going by rather quickly because of the amount of time Montreal held the ball to begin this quarter.
Now, is it fair to say that this is the game here for Montreal, John? Can they come back right here before the end of the quarter and counter again what the Surge did?
Well, they're down by 10, clock running with 3:14. Maybe a little early to say that, although they certainly want to get something out of this drive. I would agree with that. Aaron Emanuel.
Oh, that guy's tough to bring down, isn't he?
Yeah. What would you estimate the crowd here?
What did we say when the game started? About 15?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a little more than that.
Yeah, interesting to see what kind of interest the league is drawing. I mean, and the teams are drawing around the league. Montreal, as we said earlier, was a team last year that
drew like 35,000 a game.
Here they are 2-4, and interest may be down a little bit, although the crowd isn't bad today. And remember, this is Olympic Stadium. It's a big stadium. You got to fill a lot of seats. Proctor steps up.
Going for it.
Call interference.
They're going to call it on Junior Robinson.
They're going to call it on Junior Robinson, and I'd like to see that again.
Proctor ran away from pressure. That's how he got that thing off. Did he bump him right at the point where the ball arrived?
Well, it certainly appeared he was diving for the ball. Well, Robinson, I think, touched him. I would guess it may be a question of intent. calling it on Montreal. So they're backing it up. No? Okay. So they walk it off 10 yards. They walk off the penalty against Sacramento 10 yards, and Montreal will have the first down. First and 10 Montreal from the Surge 49-yard line.
Now look how tight the corners are playing up now.
The pitch to Emmanuel, who cuts back.
Good pursuit by the Surge defense there. Now maybe they're finally waking up to the fact that you got to stop that stuff.
There you see the ambulance is being used. The machine goes 2nd and 7 from the 46. Proctor again throwing, again underneath. And the ball is dropped. That's K.D. Dunn, the tight end.
Well, here we go, stepping on our own feet here.
Mistakes. Clock down to 1:22 left third quarter, and again the Surge leading by 10, 28-18. If 18 sounds like an odd number of points for NFL fans, remember in this league, there are 2-point conversions, which the machine did to pull within 3. Proctor from the Surge 31. Stepping up is Young. We're changing the play at the line.
Surge showing blitz, it appears. Here they come.
Well, they can change the play all they want.
That was Randy Thornton, the guy that just joined the team this week.
Randy Thornton out of Houston.
Yeah, the Surge was showing blitz the entire time. Randy Thornton came over the right side of the Montreal offensive line, grabbed Michael Proctor and threw him to the ground. Randy Thornton here to replace Theron Ellis, who was injured, this week, John, in training camp. And when you only have 36 men on your roster, everybody has to be healthy so they can contribute at different points in the game, and Randy Thornton got to contribute.
Ellis with a hamstring problem. In fact, my understanding is they put him on a plane and flew him back. Remember, these rosters are only 36 players.
Right.
From the shotgun, it's Charlie Young.
Junior Robinson made the initial hit, but he appears to be hurt. He's down on the ground on the Surge sideline.
There you see the time remaining, third quarter.
John, we understand that the player that was taken off on the ambulance was Elliott Smith of the Montreal Machine. How he got hurt, I don't know. We'll try to find that out before we go off the air.
All right. Well, 3 quarters complete here in Montreal. The Surge with an 18-point lead. They lead 28-18. Jacques Dussault and the Machine faced with a 3rd down and 13 from the Surge 34 when we come back.
By the time you've worked 30...
I think that's Mr. Machine. I'm not sure.
You know, they play this the music from the Terminator every time they show this guy on the big screen here.
Yeah.
The Terminator.
The fourth quarter about to begin with the Surge leading 28-18. I want to remind you it's a doubleheader day today on Channel 13. Immediately following this game, we'll join Orlando and San Antonio, which will be in progress, and it's, of course, a big game where the Surge is concerned.
Huge game.
Yeah, because of the Surge chasing San Antonio in the North American West. Both Orlando and San Antonio 5-1 going into that game. This is a 3rd and 13. Proctor from the shotgun. And he's stepping up, and he's got some room to run. But it'll be short of the first down by about 2-3 yards.
Pete Nigerian on the tackle there.
A year ago, Pete Nigerian was a starting middle linebacker for the Surge. He lost the starting job to Michael Jones this year. Last week, he put Stan Gelbaugh out of the game for London.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But the Surge is now in field goal range. Or the Machine is now in field goal range. And a field goal would tie this game, and their kicker is Bjorn Nitmo. The ball is on the Surge 23. The placement will come at about the 31, which will make this a 41-yard attempt. So now Machine, the Machine with 21 points. They're a touchdown away from tying this game. Bjorn Nitmo getting ready to kick off for the Montreal Machine, who have cut the Surge lead to 28-21 with 14 minutes left. 21,000, Andy?
Yeah. Yeah, last year they were averaging 35. Last week, in fact, they lost their first home game of the season last week in front of like 22,000. So they have come back. I think the ones that aren't here are saving their energy for tonight's Canadiens game or something.
Yeah, this is a hockey town, folks. I'll tell you, 21,000 here is all right. And Eddie Brown goes down hard. Yeah, as we mentioned, the Montreal Canadiens, the Boston Bruins open up the Adams Division Finals tonight, the best-of-7 series. And this town is well, it's Montreal, and it's hockey. That's a tough hit.
Ray Savage, appropriately named. That was a monster of a hit there.
So the Surge will start up from their own 12-yard line. We saw that in slow-mo. Show this in regular speed, and then he goes down hard.
You call that a 9-1-1 tackle. Eddie Brown calling 9-1-1 as soon as he gets up. There they come. That's Ray Savage on the hit again.
And that's Mike Pringle. And there's a flag on the field. It's in the backfield, so it's against the Surge, I'm sure, and it's holding, which will back it up. This is not the time to be making mental mistakes.
You know what? I was wrong when I said earlier, is this the game? Remember when I said in about 3 minutes left in the third quarter, this game is not over.
No, we got a ways to go. 13:54 left in regulation.
Okay, and now you let the crowd back into the game.
Kay Stevenson, the Surge head coach, calling the plays. To Paul Green, the tight end, to about the 28-yard line. Well, there you see the third quarter stats. Sacramento now with 13 first downs, and this is after 3 quarters, we should add here.
Look at the differential in the rushing yards, John. The Surge only gives up an average of 123 a game, which is worst in the league. Look what Montreal has done so far.
168.
But then look at the passing.
And Aaron Emanuel with a bulk of that.
Yeah.
Well, you're right about the crowd. They're really back in this game. 1st and 10, 27. Play action. Archer gets it away to Tony Burse. Burse with a little move, and he gets out to the 33. One thing about the Machine defense, they've been pressuring Archer all afternoon, and as we've said on several occasions, he's been taking some tough hits.
Yeah. 56 there is Derek Davis, who some NFL people say that with playing time could be another Lawrence Taylor type.
Well, there's so many coulds in this league. Yeah.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Second down 4 from their own 33. Surge really needs a drive here, a sustained drive. They want to run out the clock as much as they can. They really need another score. So if you're Montreal, what do you anticipate here? If you're the Montreal defensive coach, what do you anticipate, Andy?
On 3rd and 2?
Well, given the fact that this team passes so well.
Maybe an out. Send one of your backs out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Get him in the flat. Just pick up the first down. Keep the drive going.
In motion is Parker. They pitch. The Pringle.
He may have just gotten the first down with the spin. He may have just gotten it.
I don't know. Does it look like a first?
Crucial call here. I'm thinking, yeah, they did.
Yeah, they got it.
Just barely, I'll bet. Just with that last spin move that Mike Pringle had on that play.
There's the road trip we were talking about earlier. The players call it the road trip from hell.
That's true.
And why not?
That's true. And I think it was Paul Green who said, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad to be going back to Sacramento or something along those lines.
This is over 3 weeks. 9 time zones, for crying out loud. But it's the World League. 1st and 10 Surge from their own 37. From the shotgun is Archer. It's through the hands of Paul Green. Okay, I'm not going to knock these.
I was going to say, he's got to hold on to those things.
Leave him alone.
But see, Montreal's defense now still with some good pressure. Number 76, Roland Putsier there, putting some good pressure on.
Second down 10. Play action. Archer has it. Throws it over the middle. Eddie Brown.
Wait a minute.
Eddie,
go the other way. Go the other way, Eddie.
I know the play didn't resemble this, but you see, from Minnesota, I remember the Jim Marshall wrong way thing.
That's right.
You know, and Jim getting a good pat on the back from all the San Francisco 49ers at old Kezar Stadium when Jim Marshall, the old Viking, picked up the ball and ran the wrong way.
I remember that.
For the safety.
One of the great plays in NFL history.
I remember where I was, too. I was sitting in my mom and dad's living room going, I don't...
Jim! Jim, wait, come back!
Absolutely. This is a 1st and 10. That's
right,
Pringle.
good blocking on the outside there. There you go.
And there's a flag down.
Boy, Montreal. The Surge guys were anticipating this from what they were telling us the last few days, that Montreal is a very physical, very tough team. In fact, Jacques Dussault was saying, look at the injury report after all of our games. The list on both sides will be equally as long because we put people out of the game or we hurt people. We make them remember they played us.
Well, this is going against the Surge. They've been called for holding, so they'll bring it back. Yeah, they'll take the penalty. But they take the down or the yardage in this case, and they want to take the yardage and back them up.
Could this be called winning ugly?
Well,
would that be appropriate here?
Well,
of course, they haven't won it yet.
We're down to 9:52, the clock running in regulation. Remember, they play overtime in this league, of course, and overtime in the World League a little different than it is in the NFL. Both teams at least get one possession. This is a 1st and 18. Tony Burse. So now they're across the 50 inside Montreal territory to, well, about the 43, 42. They like Burse for a variety of reasons. Mostly as a blocker, right?
Yeah, he's an outstanding blocker. And he was telling us, remember yesterday he was telling us, look, I know there aren't a lot of running plays called for me in the course of a game, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, my job is to block for a lot of these guys.
Niners were interested in him.
Yes, they were. He spent some time, what was he telling us, with Seattle and another NFL team.
2nd and 8. Archer.
Batted down.
Batted down. Well, remember here now, the Surge leads 28-21. There's 8:39 left in the game, so certainly you want to get a score on this, but it'd be nice to run the clock down a little too.
All right, here's Desmond Royal, number 90, comes. Yeah, see Archer trying to throw in that lane. Desmond Royal just got his hand up there and knocked the ball down.
That doesn't look good on the 3rd down conversions for the Surge today. We've got another one here. This is 3rd and 8. They go underneath the Burse, and he's short.
Couldn't slip the tackle of Derek Davis.
No. So now they will have to punt. We anticipate the machine will get the ball back here with about, well, 7:40, maybe 7:40 left in the game, which gives them a lot of time. And in the second half, they've had a lot of success going for the stuff that the Surge is giving them. The short passes, running the ball, especially on sweeps and giving the ball to Aaron Emanuel. They're playing for the return. Montreal playing for the return. And the Surge downs it at the 9 or 10. So Montreal, while they have the ball with 7:40 left, will start from bad field position. So we got a good finish coming up.
This is going to be an exciting game, especially if Montreal gets hot here.
Why would someone pay more for a small foreign truck when they could get a full-size GMC Sierra SF?
So the quarterback who couldn't throw today, that's what we were told, has these kind of numbers. He's completed 13 of 19, only 95 yards. And you wonder now with the 7:41 left, Andy, and the machine down by a touchdown and basically playing for their season, you wonder how they're going to handle this. And I would anticipate they'd handle it the way they've handled everything in the second half with the run and taking the short stuff.
I'm anticipating Michael Parker calling a lot of rollout passes.
This is a 1st and 10 now from their own 11. Good pressure. Throws
up for grabs. Turn around.
Well short. It's intended for Manley.
Good pressure from the Surge defense, the people up front again.
Interesting, the pass was so short. Maybe that was a reflection of just how far Parker can or can't throw the ball. And certainly the pressure was there.
Yeah. Oh, there's Louis Riddick coming on a safely blitz. I think he just hit Proctor's arm. And then 95, Corian Freeman. So maybe they made him throw it a little bit higher or float it.
Nate Hill with pressure as well. And Robert McWright with the coverage, though the pass was well short. This is a 2nd and 10. Underneath they go.
That's a great tackle. That's a great open field tackle by Junior Robinson. I'm sorry, by Robert McWright.
Robert McWright. Yeah. By going underneath, though, and not getting much on that, they're faced with a 3rd and 11.
And guess what they have to do on 3rd and 11? And guess what the Surge defense is going to do?
Yeah. Clock running, 7 minutes left now, 4th quarter. From the shotgun is Proctor. Steps up.
He got, Tracy Perkins got him on the sack.
Well, he kept the two backs back there to help protect him, and the pressure was just too much.
You know, this surge defense, like they say about a lot of defenses, they're like weebles. They bend, but they don't break. There's Tracy Perkins. He had been picked up, I think, on the blitz, but shed the blocker and in time to sack Michael Proctor.
So now Montreal punting from near the end line, which means the surge should. Great
I think they got a piece of that, huh?
Yeah, they did. It bounces at the 25, then bounces backwards.
Stephon Adams in there. He got a piece of the punt.
So here you have the surge now with 6:07 left. They lead 28-21, and they'll get the ball at about the 21-yard line. Nice way to go into the last 6 minutes.
They're
already
in
field goal range, huh?
Make the big plays when you have to.
Looking good.
This is the Ford Escort. For the money, whoa!
So there's Paul Brown, who's the leading receiver for the Surge today. So it in part dictates or shows what Archer's been doing.
You know what?
Going underneath, yeah.
You've spent too much time in Cleveland. That's Eddie Brown.
Did I? What did I?
You said Paul Brown.
Did I? Oh, no.
Too much time in Cleveland for you, young man.
Leave me alone. Don't fumble the football here. Just take your time. 6:07 left in the game.
But you know, what's interesting about Stephon Adams, their third leading receiver, almost blocked the punt. He started out, he was drafted by the Raiders, I believe, I want to say in like 84, 85. Never really caught on there, went to the Chargers. They initially thought he was going to be a receiver. They used him at defensive back. So here's a guy that can do it all and has had to do it all to keep his career going.
You see the Surge with their full contingent of timeouts left. They have 3, Montreal down out of 2. What you want to do here where the Surge is concerned is just hang on to the football because they're in field goal range. And they go over the middle. Well, you know, we could argue this. I don't know if I'd be throwing the football.
Well, let's argue.
Well, you want to argue? Because
you're right.
The Surge leads are 28-21, 5:22 left. The way Montreal has been playing, a field goal will pretty much put this away. So by throwing a ball over the middle like that, you're risking interception and giving Montreal a chance to get back.
And talk about putting teams away. They couldn't put San Antonio away. San Antonio forced the overtime. San Antonio won the game. I think if there has been a knock on the Surge, it's been that they have not been able to have that killer instinct to put teams away and just, shut them out the rest of the time.
Now there's flags everywhere. I want to remind you this is a doubleheader day here on 13. Immediately following this game, we'll bring you what we've been calling a key game where the Surge is concerned. Orlando, which is 5-1, and San Antonio also 5-1, and San Antonio leading the division that the Surge is in, the North America West. So certainly the Surge has a lot of interest in how that game turns out. So that follows this game.
And the Surge figuring win today. They have Frankfurt in Ohio at home. They go into San Antonio 8-1, or I'm sorry, 7-2. They're playing for first place.
Surge is stacking the right side, and again they're going to throw. And they go over the middle, and it's a touchdown. That's how much faith they've got. Mark Stock, that's how much faith they have in their passing game.
Mark Stock, generally a possession receiver.
What does that mean, Andy?
It means that he's the kind of guy who may not be able to go deep, but you send him over the middle on crucial plays, he catches the ball, picks up the necessary yardage.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm hemming and hawing here because I said they shouldn't throw the football.
That's right.
I believe I was right about that. But then they score the touchdown, and so what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, maybe they were concerned that 7 points was not enough to consider this game over with. I would say with 5:14 and what's going to be now a 14-point lead, I think we can start singing "Turn Out the Lights." Not completely, but we can start.
Okay.
We can hum it.
Out of your world. All right. So Blanchard makes the kick. It's a 35-21 surge lead with 5:14 left.
Well, here's the TD.
Well, here it is.
Give Dave Archer time. He will hurt you, although there's Roland Putsier, number 76.
Just send Mark on the slant, and it's indigenous to this league that once you make the catch, you've got to jump over something.
That's right. You have to have gymnastic talent.
Well, that's all right. It keeps you honest.
By the time you've worked 35 years and raised a family, you were
off with 5:11 left in the game. And the machine will start from about their own 30-yard line. You know,
what a day for Dave Archer.
Yeah,
huh?
you know, we're going to say here that there's only one Joe Montana, but Archer's having a Montana kind of day.
He has set a new surge record today. Last week rather, against London, threw 4 touchdown passes, which was a club record. 5 TD passes today, the new record.
At this point, 23 of 37, 372 yards. So what we're getting here at the end is kind of what we anticipated before the game began. It just took a little while to get there, that's all. And Al Proctor will have to throw. He keeps the backs there for protection. And again, he's going underneath.
Now, how great of a day is Dave Archer having? Montreal comes into this game with the 3rd best pass defense in the league. Only 179 yards a game. Almost double that. Well, more than double that. Yeah.
Well, Proctor is, I think, a little frustrated.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
one of those days.
That's frustration. We're down to 4:20 left now. The Surge with a 35-21 lead. Montreal now with a 1st and 10 from the 46. And Proctor, as he will do on every down, now will throw. He gets away from the pressure and goes down at about the 49.
You know, John, the feeling that I definitely got from the players and other people who have made the trip with the team was that this is the perfect way to end this long road trip. Everybody was tired of being on the road. And then remember last night that we were all together watching the Birmingham-Barcelona game, and that was so critical to this. And I think everything hinged on this game. We have to win today. The Surge people saying this, we have to win today, and, you know, we improve our chances to go to the World Bowl.
That's a delay to Charlie Young as they keep advancing forward here, but time is not on their side. We're down to 3:24 and the clock is running. And the Surge leading by a bunch. Proctor, left side, goes underneath. To Bartlewski.
You know, they didn't start out very strong.
David Archer with a terrific game today. As Proctor throws over the middle, incomplete. We're about to mention Archer with this terrific game today, 372 yards in the air.
And they've made the big plays when they had to. I mean, I think that's the whole key in today's game. The defense and the offense, obviously, but they made the big plays when they had to.
Exactly. And the clock now stopped, as you see, with 2:41 left. Again, trying to avoid the pressure, and can't do it.
Now look at that. Vance Hammond doing the dance. I think I referred to him earlier as Kim. He's down there, I'm up here. I don't think it'll matter right now.
Well, the clock is running, so they're trying to get going as quickly as they can. Down to 2:25. Machine trying to get all their players off the field before they get the snap off. Going deep. And it's intercepted.
Robert McWright.
Robert McWright.
Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Wait, no interception.
No interception.
But they really trapped it?
Well, he can't believe it.
Oh, my God.
I tell you, I caught it between my legs. He's going. We practice it every week in practice.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
How can he not give me that? Yeah. Stats, rough stats, contract.
Fourth down and 18. And basically, this is the ball game.
Let's see. Did he drop the ball? He's got it right there. Yeah, well. Oh, yeah, you were right. He did say rough. I caught it between my legs.
That's complete. But he's short of the first down. Short of the first down as we reach what is basically the 2-minute warning here with 1:58 left, and the Surge will have it. And the Surge now can just run the clock out and come out of here with what will probably be a 35-21 victory. And it's like, as you said, it's a nice way after a long road trip to go home, huh, Andy?
A fitting end to the long trip.
Before you...
But the Surge defensive coordinator, all things told, must be fairly pleased.
He's got to be very pleased, sure.
So let's put this in perspective. The Surge will win this now. They'll go to 5-2. They're in the driver's seat where the wild card is concerned. Now, as we mentioned, San Antonio, Orlando will follow us. And if San Antonio should lose, then you got a couple of 5-2 ball clubs.
Very interesting scenario.
Yeah.
And I believe San Antonio still has to go play some of the European teams. The Surge will be home for a couple of weeks against Frankfurt and Ohio. There's never, you don't ever want to say a automatic win, but you figure they'll win those two games and then have a great showdown for first place.
May 23rd.
Yeah, May 23rd in
San Antonio. So it looks like, as things are progressing here, that the May 23rd game with San Antonio could be for the division championship.
That's right.
So Archer's coming home after a couple of terrific ball games.
Impressive outings.
Yeah, in London and here in Montreal.
Remember when they picked him up, Kay Stevenson said, we wanted a quarterback with experience, with NFL experience. And they went out and they sure got him a good one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they sure did. It's the deep pitch to Pringle.
And, you know, on David Archer's behalf, I think he still wanted to prove to some people, hey, I'm still a good quarterback here. I can play on Sundays in the fall. Look what I'm doing now. I think just psychologically, this season is serving that purpose, to prove to NFL scouts, which from what we are told have been watching the Surge for some invites for this summer. And I think David Archer wanted to show them, look, I can still do it.
Well, Archer, I believe his rights belong to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, it's a complicated thing if another team wants to pick him up, but yeah.
And he told me something interesting about a month ago when the Niners were going through all that stuff with Joe and with
last season,
and the two Steves. Yeah, he said the Niners were calling him every week to make sure he was ready to play in game shape. So there was some real interest in Archer by the Niners last season.
Wow.
Yeah. Clock running down to 57 seconds. A timeout has been called.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd want to go back to Philadelphia with Randall Cunningham's anticipated return.
Well, we're down to 4th and 6 here, which is why they called the timeout. Montreal did. So there's what we were talking about.
Right.
But the Surge has left. Montreal, they're going to lose today. They'll drop to 2-5. It's in a way kind of irrelevant where the playoff picture is concerned. But should the Surge beat Frankfurt and Ohio, as you said, two teams that they should, then they head for San Antonio and what pretty much looks like at this point to be a
battle for first place.
Yeah. And really, you want to win the division. Yeah, because you have no chance of hosting a game if you're a wild card team.
And don't forget, this is where they're going to play the World Bowl. I mean, if everything works out, the Surge will be back here.
And you'll come back and get more smoked meat. The thing is, folks, every store you go to around here, it's even, I don't mean department stores, I mean like delis and this, it's brisket. It was a brisket.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
And they got big signs out. You go up and down St. Catherine Street, and it all says
But you can see it right out there in the store window.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
There's just all this, there's just, you look in the window and it's nothing but meat. Nice gets it away. And it looks like it's going out of bounds. It does. So that will stop the clock, and that's to Montreal's benefit.
Smoked meat.
Well, I
wonder if that's part of the post-game meals.
I don't know. I've just never been anywhere where smoked meat was a big deal. But it is. It is here in Montreal. 50 seconds left in the game. Machine down.
You notice this crowd has started dispersing. I wonder if they're getting in line for standing room only tickets at the Forum tonight.
Well, they tell me now the game starts at what, 7:30, right?
7:30, yeah.
And they tell me if you want standing room, you should get over there by what, 4 or 5, something like that. And even if you do get standing room at the Forum, because it's a playoff game, it's not going to be very good. And then if you want to go get something to drink, you lose your standing room spot.
That's right.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Craig Cupp is the quarterback. Why not? And it's picked off.
Louis Riddick.
Yeah, Louis Riddick. Now, Cupp is the guy they picked up this week because of the injury problems that they've had with Dilweg and Proctor.
This guy looks a lot like Chuck Long when you see him without his helmet on. Some of the Surge guys were saying, you know, he's actually not a bad quarterback. He may have a little bit slower release. He's a big guy, like 6'3", 6'4", 220. But they said his release is not that quick, so maybe he wouldn't do that much damage if he played a substantial amount of time.
Well, there you had a situation where Montreal had to throw the football. They're not sure of Proctor's arm, so they put Cupp in the game, even though Cupp knows absolutely nothing about the offense.
Hey, but he wanted the stat, John. The stat. Hey, pass completed.
Well, not quite.
Now, why did they leave Dave Archer in the game?
That's a good question.
Let Mickey Guidry go in there, or Lee Saltz.
Well, Guidry was throwing for a while on the sidelines, and we
yeah.
thought maybe they might put him in the game, but Archer has taken every snap from center this year for the Surge, and now they're just running out the clock.
At least let them get their uniform dirty.
That'll be it.
So when they run off the field, people can say, hey, great game, you really played hard. Yeah, look, my uniform's dirty. Yeah, I was in there.
So the Surge does not have to run another play. As we said, they have a 5-second clock, and they're coming out of here, coming out of Montreal with a victory.
Here we go. Here's the bucket of ice, the Gatorade right over K. There it is.
It's only 7 games.